Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of the Neon Crew podcast. My name is Kyle.
And my name is McClain.
Hi, how you doing, McClain?
Good.
How's your day going? It's going well,
Good.
I assume.
Yeah.
Even though I already asked you when you walked into the house, I feel like for our audience's sake, they have to know how you're doing. So
It's every 2 weeks, so they only get a glimmer.
yeah,
You know, it's not, hey, how was last 2 weeks going? It's how's today going?
that's
So
true.
It's
that's
also,
true.
I think it's a bad sample size, but given the day, it's been a good day, I guess. I mean, the whole 9 to 5, and yeah, that's been about it. Nothing too exciting, crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot happens in 2 weeks, but sometimes for us, a lot doesn't happen. You know,
Yeah.
Especially when the weather gets cold and you're not doing as much.
Is that the royal us? Are you talking like everyone listening?
Everyone listening who I'm very confident lives in the state of Michigan. So
Yeah.
but you know, that's okay. We know where our demographic is. Few days ago,
I'd like to see that heat map.
I went to the movies by myself for the first time ever.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
I'd never seen a movie in theaters by myself before until I went and saw Eternals because I was very curious as to how it was going to be. Have you seen Eternals yet?
No.
No?
I think that's going to be one at Disney Plus.
Yeah. I would recommend it because
Recommend Disney Plus or recommend Eternals?
recommend waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus because it is quite boring. It's probably the most boring Marvel movie I've seen.
Really?
Yes. No exaggeration.
I'm trying to, it's like, all right, let me go through my head and think about it. But
just to give you like a quick like rundown of it, it's like, it's got good production. It's
sure
MCU, so you're gonna get like decent
right. They're
effects
gonna take care of you.
Yeah, but the characters are so bland. The pacing is just a snail's pace, and
Ugh.
it's like 2.5 hours long, and you feel every minute of those 2.5. I think I checked my phone, and I never check my phone when I'm in the theater, but I was by myself, and there was barely anybody in there.
I mean,
so.
In theaters or just in general when you watch movies? Predominantly in theaters?
No, I just never take my phone out.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Except for this time, because I was like,
Whoop, whoop.
when? Yeah. The cinema police are gonna come and slap me on the wrist, but no, I found myself checking my phone like 3 times. I was like, when is this movie gonna end? And I kind of like where it's going in like the terms of like the larger MCU, because I think I've seen every Marvel movie in the MCU except for Black Widow, but the movie itself just does not really stand on its own.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Mike Trout's got to have a bad year. Babe Ruth, you could probably find in there a couple bad months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't knock everyone out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
But
when you're making Eternals movies, it's like, all right, at some point you're making like what 3 to 4 Marvel movies a year. I mean, granted the pandemic, it kind of halted a lot of that, but
right.
Still, like before, you'd get like 3 a year, and not every one of them is going to be a winner. Like,
dude, yeah, I mean, Venom's the black sheep of the group. I don't even think Marvel even likes to acknowledge that Venom's part of their universe.
Oh man, have you seen the second Venom?
No.
I won't.
I from hearing you talk about it and then compounding that with another podcast that I listened to, I was like, I'll wait. I waited 2.5 years to watch the first one.
I went and I saw Venom 2 only because I heard something about it that it has interesting implications. I will say that.
Okay.
And nothing more. I don't want to spoil Venom 2. Let there be carnage for you.
Yeah.
The spoiler being Woody Harrelson's hair in the movie. Yeah. It's a real treat.
Sure. Yeah, I'm really super. I want to drop $15 to see Woody Harrelson's hair.
There's gonna be carnage.
That sounds. Yeah, I had no. I always joke about that with everyone. I'm like, do you think like Marvel they just have to do it? Like, There's no, we're not going to make a whole lot of money off of it. We did the one. It's not that great. We're just going to have to just keep plugging it away.
For Venom?
Yeah.
I think the first movie made a decent amount of money.
Well, I mean, any Marvel movie is going to make a decent amount, but like, do people really like it?
People, I think, really like Tom Hardy, and they like the character of Venom enough.
I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah, WWTHD.
Man.
They like those two things enough. Plus, you slap the Marvel name on it, even though it's technically not an MCU movie. People are still gonna go see it, and they're gonna think to themselves like,
"So how's that not an MCU?
Is Venom in the MC? Is he with the Spider-Man, or is this not with the Spider? Which Spider-Man is he with? I don't understand it."
This is turning into Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. There's gonna be the reboot of Venom here in like the next 3 years.
Yeah.
You remember when they did that to him? They rebooted Spider-Man. I think I was talking to some buddies about it, and they're like, "Did you watch? Like, who's your Spider-Man? You know, mine's Toby. Like,
obviously,
right?
Obviously."
And I was like, I've never even seen the ones with Garfield.
The ones with Garfield, I heard the first one was okay. Like, I heard it was serviceable.
Yeah.
The second one, and I've watched plenty of reviews on YouTube, and I know what happens in the movie to, I think, give a fair assessment.
Okay.
Third one's Garbo.
There's 3 of them?
Or no, not the third one. The second one. Sorry, it didn't even make it to 3 movies.
I was about to say like, I honestly know so little about it. If someone came up and was like, "Did they make 2 or 3?"
Yeah,
maybe.
Which one had Dane DeHaan in it? Oh, the second one. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Sure.
Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. Cool, I guess.
That sounds. Well, the worst part about it, so Spider-Man 3 came out 2007.
2007. Yeah.
Right. Garfield comes out 3 years later, and they acted like Maguire never made a Spider-Man.
Well, it's yeah, it's weird because they made the Amazing Spider-Man movies because 3 kind of flopped, and because Sam Raimi was going to make a 4th Spider-Man movie,
sure,
but that did not end up happening, obviously. So they were like, "Oh, we're gonna reboot the franchise. Like, Peter Parker is actually gonna look young. He's actually gonna look like a kid or whatever, and we're gonna have him be cool and stuff." And and it didn't even make it to 3 movies.
Yeah,
it was only 2, and so they were like, Kevin Feige, can you please help us? Can you please make Spider-Man okay again? And now we have Tom Holland, which I like Tom Holland. I think he's a good Spider-Man. He's actually believable as a high schooler, and then Tobey Maguire's over there looking like he's 28.
Oh my god! It did come out in that time where I didn't care about how old you were. If they said you're in high school, you could have been 32, and I would have been like, "All right, I'm in."
And when you're when you're my age when those movies came out, I was just a little kid, basically. When you're my age and you look at anybody who's past 8th grade, they all look the same to you. Yep. Everybody looks like an adult. Whereas now you look back at it and you realize how just ridiculous it is.
I mean, out of my head, and I'm like, geez,
Flash in.
He was a senior in high school.
Yeah, he was a 32-year-old senior.
Oh my god, poor Toby.
Dude, I can't wait to watch the Sam Raimi ones and talk about them on here because I feel like I've been going on Raimi memes on Reddit for the past month, just appreciating all the memes people make, and there's a lot. There's so much to those movies. Whereas the Amazing Spider-Man movies, yeah, there's some memeable stuff in those movies because it's kind of bad, but not to the level of appreciation that people have for the Tobey Maguire ones. It's great. I want to rewatch them soon, I think.
Yeah, I think yeah, I could do 1 and 2. 3 is God, I think I tried to watch 3 about a year ago or something. I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. It's one of those. I mean, those movies. I'm so happy that someone. I think I always credit Christopher Nolan with Batman.
Yeah,
making it a real life person.
Yeah,
not like Michael Keaton and Clooney. I mean, and the Maguire movies are so cartoony. They were we're gonna make a comic book movie.
And they did. They really embraced that comic book element to it. And the first movie is okay, it's a decent first Spider-Man movie. Obviously, it has to be an origin story. You get Uncle Ben dying in there. Spoiler alert.
Jeez, Kyle.
I know. I'm
Some
sorry.
People haven't seen this.
whoever they are, they need to. But that one's a good serviceable introduction, and then the second one is just great. Like,
oh yeah,
it's obviously, like, in terms of quality, the strongest out of the three.
I would agree.
And it's the one, as when I was a kid, I rented the most out of all three of them. Oh yeah, a big time. I would rent the VHS all the time, and I'd go back to my grandpa's house and I'd watch it. And that was like a little tradition for me, going over to the video store next door to my grandpa's house.
Yeah.
Because we would just walk there,
Oh yeah, it's just right down. It's right across the road or whatever.
And I think, going off a little bit of a tangent, I think the movie that I rented from there the most was Home Alone, like the OG
Really?
Home Alone. Yeah, because for some reason I loved Home Alone. Like, I couldn't get enough of it.
He was a hero.
I couldn't get enough of this kid, like, beating the shit out of these burglars.
Probably enough closest to your age, or it could be like something obtainable for you to like actually have happen.
Yeah. Like, as a kid, you were like, oh man, this is so cool. I wish I was him so that I could beat up these bad guys.
Yeah.
And, in reality, if your house got broken into, they'd probably kill you.
Oh, it'd be no chance.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid, it would be couch done.
It's a partially a fantasy movie.
I mean, I would love to see the Dark Knight version of that.
Yeah. Well, people are saying that there should be not a remake, but like a sort of like a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Redone?
No, like kind of like a sequel, like one of those sequels that come out like 40 years after or whatever, where like Macaulay Culkin's an adult and he has to like Equalizer style take down like home invaders or whatever.
Yeah.
But instead of like goofy traps with like paint cans and Christmas Christmas ornaments, it's like
John Wick of his house.
Yeah, it's like an R-rated like slaughter movie.
Oh yeah.
And I think that'd be an interesting concept if done well.
If done well, yeah, it's dark comedy. That's exactly. I'm like just picturing dark comedy. You could really have fun with that. The unique ways to kill someone in that, but
I think so. And then going back to Spider-Man, I think the third one has a lot of value for the wrong reasons. Oh. I love the memes.
Yeah,
I love them. I can't get enough of them. In my friend Tyler's wedding, I was best man, and my like entrance into the reception was Tobey Maguire's dance that he does when he's evil Spider-Man. Like when he's going down the street snapping his fingers and he's doing the finger guns and he's spinning and he comes out and he's got the suit on.
Wasn't he just like right after he got taken by Venom, he hit Goth Maguire?
Yeah.
In there,
he goes into an alley and he changes his hair and all of a sudden he's emo.
Oh my god, we were talking about. I think I was talking about it with my brother. Like I remember watching the Eddie Brock scene.
Oh god,
and like how so much of it just doesn't make sense. Oh. The funniest part, I don't know if we talked about it on here, but the funniest part of all that is that like he loathes Tobey Maguire.
He goes to a church and he prays for Peter Parker to die.
I'm telling you right now, like he's a freelance photographer. Freelance. You could go to any fucking city and do that, and he
acts like his life is ruined.
So much of his dream that he has to kill Peter Parker. Like. How low are you?
I don't want to get too much into Spider-Man. I want to save it.
We don't have to.
I want to save it for the future,
dude. I will watch that again and oh my god, it is comical.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely hit the cartoony part of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, so I guess now is as good a time as any to get into a new segment that we're gonna try out called Top 5 Surprise.
There we go.
So one of us is gonna ramble off our top 5, and then you're gonna answer. So like, I'm gonna give you like name top 5 blank, and you're gonna do your best.
Sure.
Yeah,
So I'm just giving. You're gonna hit me with a list. And I gotta give you my top 5.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with the title of it, and then you're gonna.
All right.
Yeah.
And then I'll hit you with 5 titles back.
Okay. Top 5 characters in movies where their skin is the color blue.
What? All right. Let's go. So should I go from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5? Oh, do television? Damn it.
Go from 1 to 5. It'll be easier.
1 to 5?
Yeah.
Oh my god, if I could even name 5.
I thought of 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Off the top of your head?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one Would well, Jesus, how about just name 5 where their color is blue? Because I got Arrested Development stuck in my head right now.
I got 3. I mean, you can go with the rest of development. That's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Tobias Funk.
Oh yeah. Looks like I prematurely blew myself.
Oh.
That'd probably be number 1 then.
All right, number 1.
Number 2, The Watchmen.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
Dr. Manhattan.
Yep.
Okay. Number 3, top 5.
I can give you some if
characters.
you need any.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Titanic.
No.
That's a clear choice.
Yeah.
Now, you're not talking screen time, right? Or the whole. I mean, like these could
No.
just be
Like at
supplemental.
one point or another, their skin color is blue.
It was blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is blue.
All right, because now I gotta go through my head we're in the world's Roger Rabbit or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like someone getting strangled.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 3.
Okay. I'm surprised you haven't listed one yet.
Well, I'm not gonna do it.
One certain one.
There's a layup one in there.
I feel like there was.
Is it
but
Papa Smurf?
I was thinking the Smurfs, but
All
that
right.
wasn't it.
I haven't seen it, so I can't go down that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that one.
Okay.
Blue
right.
characters.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mel Gibson, Braveheart.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got that war paint on there, and he hits him.
Yeah. So I think that's 5, right?
There's 4. That's 4.
Or was that 4? Okay.
That's 4. Don't cut me. This is my list.
Oh, all right.
We're doing
all right.
top 5
All right.
blue characters.
Do you wanna lay up? Do you want a hint?
Do I want a hint? Well,
Yeah.
let's see. Well, I'm not. Are you thinking Jamie Foxx?
No, I wasn't. But that's a good
That's
answer.
another
though.
one that I haven't seen. So I mean, there's
Okay.
all these.
Well, you can list ones that you haven't seen. I mean,
Really?
the fact that you haven't seen them doesn't make the character not blue.
Well, yeah, but I can't judge a guy for that. A character.
You
on
can't
that.
judge him for the color of his skin.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about Papa Smurf.
Yeah.
You got. Are you gonna? I know you're itching to get one out.
I do
How
have
about you
one.
name it, and I'll say, all right,
Okay.
that would fit in. Because right now, like, I'm still going off.
All right. Paul Giamatti from Big Fat Liar.
Oh God, yes.
I'm surprised that wasn't like your first or second one.
No, so Big Fat Liar came out when was it Frankie Muniz?
Yeah.
Is that the yeah? It was kind of he was just getting out of Hollywood, and I think it was just turning the corner into watching really bad PG-13 movies as opposed to PG.
Yeah.
So like it just missed it. Now there is quality in those films, whether or not good or bad.
Yeah.
All right, that you can take away from. That is one of them, though. I mean, I forget. Does he open the money bag and get spritzed?
Yeah. I think it's been a long time since I've seen it, but
Yeah.
oh no, they put the weird chlorine in the pool, and then he goes for a swim, and then his whole body is blue.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
that reminds me of Willy Wonka, and one of the most disturbing scenes I'd seen when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go with that. That's
Violet?
my number 5. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Violet's also a good option. Whichever, probably the OG Willy Wonka, right? We're not going to go the Johnny Depp one.
No. And I saw that in theaters, which was not a good call.
No. As a kid, I enjoyed it, but as a kid, I really didn't have any sort of taste, I guess you could say.
Of course, dude. As a kid, like,
not to make it a pun, taste, Willy Wonka, Chocolate Factory. Anyway, that's my top 5 surprise.
It's there.
Hope you enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, no. So that's how we'll go. So just yeah. All right.
And I came up with that just on the fly.
Yeah.
Like I had another one that I thought I was doing, but I thought no, I'm gonna make this even more.
I want to wait. I'm gonna sit on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's
no,
fine.
no. That's oh yeah. So
Cool. So yeah, that was our.
Out of those movies, I'm just trying to think like what one I would recommend to see out of all. If I had to pick one out of those 5 movies to recommend someone to see,
Yeah. I don't know. So there was probably Watchmen.
you'd
Maybe?
pick Watchmen.
Yeah, I don't know. Because what else was there? There was Big Fat Liar. There was I forget the other ones already. My memory is terrible.
Actually, I'd probably tell you just watch the rest of Development if you haven't seen it. I think.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. No, don't engross yourself with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go watch, man. I don't think Braveheart would hold up.
Braveheart, I actually did see Braveheart.
Really?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think like now if you threw it on?
I think there's still enjoyment to be had out of it. It's like an epic war movie in a way.
For sure. It's actually really well done. You know what? Fuck it.
Braveheart, yay!
Yeah. Even though don't look at
A lot of people's favorite movie. I feel like
Braveheart.
Like if you ask someone on the street what's your favorite movie and they gave you Braveheart as an answer, you'd go, "Yeah, I could see that."
For sure. Yeah, agree. That's not a head scratcher one.
Yeah.
Of course, if it was like someone that was 17, I'd be like, really?
Yeah. Wow.
Out of everything that's come out since then?
You really love historically inaccurate Mel Gibson movies, I guess.
Well, he addresses it in the film.
So yeah, that was our top 5 surprise, our little new segment that we're gonna try out. So hopefully you liked that little ramble there into maybe that are blue. Each list will vary, of course, but
maybe. Or we'll go into red next time.
Yeah. Green.
How many colors are there?
Yeah. Top 5 characters that are green. Number 1, the poison chick from the Batman movie.
Oh, so hot. Uma Thurman. Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
So funny too. Not to get like really into that, but I learned really later on that the director was gay.
Oh.
And there was
that actually makes a lot of sense.
The costume design, right?
Yeah. Like, I was thinking that
there is a part where Clooney throws on, or Robin does, and they got like his ass is like defined in the pants. And there's
is that the same movie where they've got the bat nipples?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I probably should have confirmed it before I blurted it out, but I was talking to some friends about this, and I remember my buddy telling me like that Clooney had a really big issue with how they were doing this.
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah, I had no clue. I mean, I saw it when I was 9 or 10, and I was like, it was just kind of odd even at that age. But Poison Ivy, probably like one of my first like celebrity crushes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember what mine would be. I didn't really have too many like crushes, I guess.
No.
Yeah. I guess I mean now I would probably say like Jennifer Connelly. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's super like I looked up her Wikipedia once, and like the last paragraph of like the intro bio just says like she is considered to be one of the most beautiful people in the world. It's like, wow, Wikipedia, you're very very bold in that statement.
Yeah, I was about to say,
not that I
no bias.
Not that I disagree, but
100%, dude. When she came out and did the Hulk with Eric Bana.
Oh yeah,
so
she was
fine.
in that movie.
Oh yeah. She had a nice run there for like 5 to 7 years where graced us with her beautiful, beautiful face.
I like the scene in that movie where he like fights the dogs, and then he gets done fighting the dogs, and he like is slowly turning back into Bruce, but in that transition you get to see his like green butt cheeks.
There you go.
It's a pretty cool scene right there.
Yeah, that is an awesome line.
8-year-old me was like, wow. I get to see this in theaters.
Craziness. Yeah, that sounds. Yeah.
So yeah, speaking of giant monsters, let's talk about Akira.
Hey,
you like that segue?
Oh yeah.
I felt like that was a pretty good one.
He'd be considered a monster. I still don't know what to consider him.
Yeah. But, so I recommended a movie called Akira. Came out 1988. Directed by Katsuhiro Otomo.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I think I pronounced that pretty well. If I do say so myself, give myself a high five.
How long have you been practicing that? Did you listen to any YouTube?
I did look it over a bit before.
The phonetical way of saying it.
Before we did this,
All right. Gotta love a guy that preps.
Yeah, I gave myself a high five one time in front of someone, and they called me autistic. So
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
Always go with the clap on the back.
yeah, I do like the clap on the back and then the high five, the self high five, in case I'm like, comfortable with the person I'm with.
Sure.
If I'm not, obviously I don't do that, especially now that I'm gun shy about it.
What about do you do a small fist bump then?
I don't usually do that.
No.
No.
You stay humble.
That's only for like if I get a strike in Wii bowling. But yeah, I guess I can summarize this movie real quick. So, maybe. So, the film is animated. Came out in 1988. Is, I guess, considered an anime movie. I learned this while reading about it today. It was the most expensive animated movie until they made Kiki's Delivery Service. So, yeah, interesting fact for you.
Big, yeah.
But the movie is essentially about this biker gang who live in Neo Tokyo, and it's kind of like a sort of heavily cyberpunk, like metropolitan version of Tokyo after this huge bomb goes off, or like this bomb-like event.
Yeah.
And essentially the movie is about this biker gang led by this kid named Canada, which Canada, which the whole movie it just sounded like they were saying Canada after a while, so now I'm just gonna call him Canada. But essentially, he leads this biker gang, and they come across this kid who's got these weird powers, and one of his friends, Tetsuo, runs into the kid, and then he's taken by the government. The government is like conducting these weird experiments on like these kids, and you find out they have like these powers, but they all look like weird old people. And then Tetsuo starts having these symptoms of having powers and stuff. So then the story is essentially about him like coming to terms with like his abilities and like him getting power hungry about it. And there's a lot of different elements of like government overreach and militaristic sort of society, and
authoritarian.
The notion that humans are never meant to reach a sort of like godlike power, because if they do, then it's just going to lead to destruction. So that's pretty much the gist of the movie. So what did you think of it? I guess is my question.
Is
to
that
you.
what we're leading into off it?
Yeah. What did
they're never meant to reach these heights. Anyways, Mac, what do you think?
Just this really profound statement, like, so what did you think, McClain?
Yeah.
It's like a college professor asking you about the book you read in class. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually eerily close description of what's going on. No. I was, oh my gosh.
So I guess my first real question is, did you watch this movie subbed or dubbed?
Dubbed.
Okay.
Dubbed. Now we talked a little bit about it. I was not gonna. After we had kind of talked and you said it looked. Like you watch it dubbed, you can hardly tell. I was like, oh, anime. I didn't realize like the animations behind it. Mm-hmm. So as soon as it kicks off, it's really like, oh yeah, this is gonna be easy to like. I'm not gonna even get caught up with the voiceovers, anything like that. Okay. And it actually, I don't know. It really felt like a, like they redid it a little bit.
Like it was really okay.
Well, no, I was kind of just watching the mouths go with it, and I'm like, man, it looks like how you'd pronounce something is what they're saying. So
it was a decent dub, is what you're saying.
Oh my god! In terms of dubbed movies that I've seen, this is number one.
Oh,
like easily.
Nice.
Like I didn't have any issues whatsoever. like we talked about, it's a lot easier to be animated and do it than it is live action.
Yeah, and I think because already it's being voice acted, already they have voice actors for it, whether it's their native language or overseas. But I was telling you this before you watched it. I said, because I watched it subbed, and normally that's how I would prefer to watch foreign movies.
You watched it subbed?
I watched it subbed, and while I feel like I didn't miss anything important, like story-wise or anything,
right?
I did kind of feel like I couldn't appreciate the animation as much as I would have liked to, because a lot of the time I would read what was coming up, and they'd come up fairly quick.
Dude,
so you had to be like quick about reading what was going on.
It's fast paced.
It's fast paced.
The dialogue.
And like, not only do you have to like read what's good, but you have to like try to understand what they're saying and like what the context of it is. And so me trying to do that and like then looking up at the screen to see like what's going on visually, I felt like it was kind of like taken away a little bit, like the value of the animation, because the animation's gorgeous in this movie.
Oh my God.
Like whether or not you like the movie itself, you have to admit like it looks great.
They're essentially 2D, but I agree 100% with what you're saying, because a lot of the time too, characters were, I'm glad I watched it dub too, because like while the characters are talking, you can kind of get lost in that world and take a lot more of it in.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit more appreciation on my end for everything going on around it, because I didn't have to try to catch up with. I can't believe you watched it. That just sounds.
Yeah, I think I might watch it dubbed soon in the near future, just to like catch everything.
I think it'll help out a little bit. Halfway through the film, I was like, man, this movie moves, like the dialogue moves at a fairly quick pace. Like there's not a lot of.
It doesn't really stop much at all.
Well, there's not. You don't have time to think. There's no. The only time I think it really slowed down in terms of dialogue, they're in a jail cell.
Yeah. I was thinking that same thing.
And
like that's the only time you kind of get a break from everything.
Yeah, they kind of they catch you up with a little bit about what's going on and what's going on, what it means a little bit, But that was the slowest time where they're actually like, all right, audience members, you're gonna think with us.
Because like the movie starts and it's like, this giant explosion happens, and there's this voiceover telling you that there was a cataclysmic event that led to the creation of like Neo Tokyo, and then immediately after that, you're thrust into like this biker gang that's chasing like a rival biker gang down the street, and it just doesn't let up.
It was some of the editing, like I at the very, very beginning was having like a little bit of like, what's going on? Where are we at with the timeline?
Yeah.
Are we hopping back and forth? Because you're in the city the whole time, and it's just, it's like, it's really just a dystopic, future, a dystopian city. Like, it could be 5 years, like, from the incident to another incident, and I don't think you'd really know, because there won't be, like, a change in the environment.
Yeah.
So I had, the biker gang happens, and then all of a sudden they smash cut to, like, a kid walking out with some guy. And I'm like, and I think I may have missed what all that was going on, but I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
No, the movie really like wants you to experience what's happening like firsthand. Like it doesn't, it tells you like the bomb that goes off, but it doesn't exactly tell you what the bomb is. You kind of find that out later in the movie. But
Did you? Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, because I was trying to sit there and remember like the whole time was like I don't think it was an inciting incident, was it?
It's like
not the inciting incident, but like what got Neo Tokyo to where it was.
Kinda like that notion of like, if we destroy it, we can like rebuild it even better, or like something like that. I got like a lot of those themes from this movie.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where my assumption of it was.
Okay.
Especially when they were talking about Akira itself, like the being of Akira.
Yeah.
So the movie just kind of it thrusts you in the pool, and it's like, all right, figure it out.
It really does.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of appreciate that it did that,
You like it a little bit more.
Well,
I think it really does help out with not being spoon fed as an audience member. It does keep you engaged the whole time. If you are into the film. Yeah. There were moments where I was drifting in and out, not like sleeping, but just kind of with my interest, because trying to keep up, you're trying to figure out, if what Akira is, what's going on. Mm-hmm. So there's there's these pockets of time where it's just like, all right, where are we at? What are we doing? Mm-hmm. Like, and you really got to be engrossed with like the city and the themes going on. Yeah. But I didn't check my phone at all. I wasn't sitting there like, when's this ending? It was just kind of like we were just taking steps. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you get this feeling that like the whole time you're watching it that like everything's gonna fall apart somehow. I feel like, because like they keep talking about this notion of like this power that Akira has, and it's like, oh, we're not ready to like touch this thing yet. They've got Akira like locked away
like deep underground and like
Yeah.
these huge layers of like doors and wires and stuff, you know, that like people can't get to it. So it's you know that somehow that thing's gonna get set free and that shit's gonna go down.
I mean,
You just don't know like how exactly.
So for me watching it, I mean, I went into like a dystopian future to kind of, is this like a government overthrow? Is this like the man beating us down and we're losing our sense of who we are? And then I really got into like the machine, you know, where you're starting to see like the citizens that are becoming part of the machine. We're all falling in, you know, like Pink Floyd, and I'm like sitting there. And then Akira pops up, and I was like, oh, it's the heart of the machine. It's the deciders who decide.
Yeah.
You know, this is ultimately who's making these judgments. But then there was like this really big religious theme that popped up with Akira, and all of a sudden they start talking about power.
Yeah, because they view Akira as like this godlike being.
The energy, the source of energy, the source of all energy that is. And, I was starting to think a little bit about Japan, and I don't know, Buddhism. I think that's, or at least I know they have some, like with the Eastern philosophies, you know, chi and all that stuff, the flow of energy through all things.
Okay.
You know, so I started to get a really big sense of that.
Yeah,
and that kind of threw me off between like the machine, which is like a little bit of capitalism falling in, losing who you are, the free spirit, versus like the flow of energy.
Yeah.
And it started diving more into the energy source of it. And that's when I was like, where are we? Like, whoa, you know,
Yeah.
I really couldn't. And then the other funny part with me was watching it, not really knowing who I'm rooting for.
Right.
Did you ever have that sense where you were like
the movie is very good about making you feel kind of like not ambiguous, but just sort of like all right, who has done wrong, who has done right here? Because you get the sense that Tetsuo as a character, because Tetsuo is the one who, you know, he gets the powers essentially,
right.
and he starts going nuts with it. You know, he's killing people, he's like smashing buildings, he's doing all this crazy stuff.
Yep.
And you know, his attitude changes from where he begins in the movie to where like he ends up with the powers, because he gets this sense of like, I can finally like do the things that I want to do. You know, I don't have to rely on other people to like rescue me anymore. I can finally like take action into my own hands.
Yep.
And that becomes dangerous, but it also makes you think, this kid has like been beaten down like most of his life, and at what point do we say that it's justified, the things that he's doing, you know?
Yes, agreed.
To a certain point.
I was about to say, I mean, it was really at the hospital, I think, once he was getting out of the hospital and he was starting to realize the power that he had.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not going to go well.
Because they kidnapped him, basically, and they held him there captive.
It's weird because they did and so they do and they don't. You know, I guess I don't want to say kidnapping, but he was infringing on one of their test subjects, and he was injured.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought him in there, and I think they just happened to do tests on him because when they did like a radio beacon, like his energy signature kind of started going off, and the doctor's like, hold on now. So then that's where you do get into kind of kidnapped.
Yeah. And then they also kind of like treat him like a lab rat, because they're essentially like, if this goes wrong, we just have to kill him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay, well, this is a person, so
they
had a life.
Oh my God. So trying to pick up on some of the themes. One that I didn't get the purpose of the kids. And then, you know, I don't know. I had such a hard, I don't know if they were trying to reinvent Akira or what the kids' purposes were, because like, I can't remember it being explained, like what they were ultimate goal was going to be.
Yeah, that was kind of like I'm still trying to figure that one out too, because they're all kids essentially, but they look distinctly old.
Yeah,
and they show you like that brief sort of flashback thing, like towards the end of the movie, of like all the kids in like the room.
Yeah,
and they're like all doing like these experiments or whatever, and all the kids in the flashback look young still.
Yeah,
they look like kids.
Yep.
Whereas, you know, you jump to the present day or wherever the movie's set, and they all look like little old people, but they all have like the voices of children still.
Oh, it's kind of. I think they're playing a little bit into the creepiness, but I think there is something there with, you know.
Well, I feel like there's something there too with like, there's got to be something with like, you know, taking the youth away from the people by like exploiting them and just sort of like using them for selfish purposes. Because like, you know, they were trying to rescue one of the kids in the beginning. You know,
Yeah.
that's why he was walking with the dude in the, like, I don't know what you want to call him, like the resistance or whatever.
Yeah, I was about to say. At first I didn't understand it, and then as I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, that guy obviously was part of the domestic terrorist group. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
like an anti-government organization.
Yeah.
So they essentially like want to like almost rescue these kids in a way, because I mean they're trapped. You know, it's kind of like Tetsuo,
Right.
where he's in a situation where he's basically kidnapped and you know, monitored by the government, used for governmental purposes, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you bring up like the sort of like government breaking down point too, because I thought the scene where they're like in that conference or whatever, it's just so representative of how like the city operates and how like run down it is and how chaotic everything is.
They show political the problems with bureaucracy, and politics. I mean, just that scene alone, and the other, you know, I don't want to with anything, but the guy at the end of the film, when him taking that money, and he was leading the and he was doing it for, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, they touched on like a lot of problems with like society or civilizations being ran by by a group.
Yeah,
You
by
know,
like this hive mind that can't even agree with itself, because, you know, obviously that guy that you talked about with like the briefcase was motivated by money, and then like the military guy obviously was just motivated by power. You know, he just wanted to be the top guy. Like, I don't think he was motivated too much by money, more in the sense he just wanted to rule everything.
He wanted New Tokyo to fall in line, which
because you know he viewed the city as scum, and so he wanted to like clean the scum of the city essentially. And how he was going to do that was you know, freaky, weird superhero kids that are old looking. Naturally.
Yeah, they were kind of. It was
So yeah, I guess we can talk about spoilers for Akira.
so by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, as we get into this, it's on Hulu. If
Yep.
you have a subscription,
There's both the subbed and the dubbed version.
I'd
on there.
recommend the dubbed. I think Kyle might be in that boat too, but he's only seen the sub. So if he wants to make an argument, now's his time. Other than
I'm
that,
not going to.
All right, we'll just recommend the dub version.
But yeah, no, it's like I kind of knew that it was gonna like get into like the weird sort of like monstrosity territory that it did towards the end.
Yeah,
because people have told me before that, like, they didn't tell me anything specific, but they would say stuff like, "Oh man, this movie is effed up. Like, it's got some weird shit in it," and I'm like, okay. And you know, if I had watched this movie like 7 years ago, I would have been like, oh, well, this movie's a little too grotesque for me. But watching it now as a 26, almost 27-year-old, it's
Humble brag.
Yeah, closer to 30 than I am 20. That's all
right. I'm closer to 40 than I am 10.
I'm glad you're here for me.
Totally relate, dog.
Watching this movie now as an adult, you're like, okay, well, there obviously like is some weird shit in it, but it's nothing that I can't handle, especially after like a lot of the movies that I've seen already.
Sure. Was this your Everest to climb? Like, kind of after you heard all that stuff, like, if I can get past this one, I can do anything?
No, that was, I feel like my Everest to climb is yet to come, like, with certain movies. Like, if you ever recommend Antichrist, I might be like, oh,
No,
boy.
not yet. No,
how am I
not
going to
yet.
get through that
I'm
one?
not going to. We'll hold off.
Because, you know, I'm essentially someone who is, you know, with most movies I can handle it, but I'm
Right.
pretty squeamish when it comes to blood in real life. And sometimes in movies, like 127 Hours, I almost passed out watching.
Yeah.
But this movie was like, yeah, I mean, it's weird, but it, like, the visuals make it look cool and interesting.
And I think, you know, metaphorically, there's some stuff that was going on with what they were portraying. I don't think they had it in there, because at the end of the film, there, you know, the blob.
Yeah, essentially Tetsuo, his powers start overtaking him and he can't control them.
Yeah.
So his body starts morphing into like this giant grotesque baby thing with like all these limbs, and extra like skin and stuff like that, and it starts to like consume everything around him, including Canada and the general and Tetsuo's girlfriend.
Well, I don't, and that was another weird thing that I was like, he got her out of jail and now they're dating. Like, is that really how it works?
Yeah,
you know? Like
I
don't know. Maybe I just maybe that's the boldness that you need. You know, just by the hand, you're my girlfriend now. But I feel like that's a whole nother like.
Mm-hmm. Get on this bike that's not mine.
Yeah. But no, I was gonna say some of the visual not even aids, the grotesque features or whatever you want to call them. I think they served a purpose. I don't think it was on there for gore porn.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know, there was a visual representation of like what's going on thematically, and of course, it gets to like flex that animation style a little bit. I think. You know, the animators were like waiting for that scene to come, and they were like, "Ooh, baby, we get to make this scene."
They had the other scene that creeped me out a little bit, like just watching it, was in the hospital with the toys coming in the milk, and there's like a lot of, and I didn't want to age of innocence being stripped, but that one, that was kind of that was a bizarre kind of scene for me. I was like, I really like that it's in animation right now. Like you're able to do a little bit more than you would be able to in live action.
And that, I think that's a good segue into. So I just remembered this. Apparently, and I don't know if it's still going on. I think it is, but it's got a lot of projects. But essentially, Taika Waititi was given like the opportunity to make like a live action Akira for like for like the future. I don't know if he's still going to, or if that's like still going to happen at all, but I read about it and he was going to make it, but then he got busy with like Thor and Jojo Rabbit and all this other stuff that he was doing. So he hasn't committed to it yet, and I don't know how it's going to translate into live action, cuz like this movie came out in 1988. If they had made a live action Akira in 1988, it would have been super goofy. No one would have taken it seriously. I feel like I think it probably would have died in like obscurity and like the so bad that it's good lists on like the Wikipedia page of movies.
Depending on who directed it. Like I think this had like a lot of the Escape from New York vibe to it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen,
I watched it recently.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
I know. Yeah.
Attaboy. This had like that kind of feel though, so I mean like if someone were to, I don't know though. I really just liked it, the animation version, the anime. I have such a hard time trying to visualize in my head how that would look.
Yeah.
I mean,
and there's like, it's realistic, I guess, air quotes, realistic to a point, but it's like they still take creative liberties when it comes to characters doing things.
Yeah, 100%.
Characters get like tossed around and flown in the air, and they get like slammed against a wall, and then they're mostly fine.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. They knew what they were going with. I mean there was a time I think he takes his bike up a block. The thing gets to about 75 degrees, and he puts on the brakes, and he's sitting there looking down at Tetsu, and they're going like that, and I'm like, he would be clearly sliding down this slab of concrete, and I'm like, well, whatever, it's in its own world right now. So, I mean, if anyone's listening to me and is debating on making this, don't. Just let it be.
Yeah,
I think it's a fine piece of film.
I think it's great. I wanted to watch it for a while, and I'm glad I could finally recommend it. Shout out to Mikey giving me his Hulu info so I could watch it and not have to pay for it. Appreciate it.
MVP of the night.
Yeah, his initials are MPV.
Ooh.
Which I'm not gonna say exactly last name, but
right.
Shout out to Mikey.
Yeah, if that is even his name, alias.
Yeah, who knows? He's a mysterious dude.
Into the void we go.
Yeah, Into the Void. Is that another movie?
Enter the Void.
Enter the Void.
I think it's done by Gaspar Noé.
Yeah.
Which
is that? I thought his name was pronounced No Way.
No way, Jose.
No way, Jose. I like Gaspar No. Though.
Yeah.
Gaspar No.
Gasp.
No.
There's a movie that's on. Oh my God, it's on Hulu or Showtime or something like that. It's about this French ballet group that get together for one night to do like a little practice and then have some drinks, and it gets spiked with LSD.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a whole night of whatever you call being on LSD.
Wait, that movie isn't it Climax?
Yeah,
That's the movie.
yeah. So
I've seen that on Prime. Like I've read the description before.
Sometimes like it's one of the like, do I dip my toe? Do I check?
Well,
is it a little?
Okay, here's my question: is it a
Yeah.
movie that I can watch with Zach home, or should I wait until he goes into the office?
The name of the movie's Climax. So you take a shot with that one.
I have my answer.
Pardon the pun.
But yeah, I guess going back to Akira,
Yeah.
the whole thing comes together really well. Like the animation, the score, the voice acting, despite it, me watching it subbed, I can tell when voice acting is good even in a foreign language because there's like passion and oomph behind it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that the dubbed version is pretty adequate as far as like quality of VO.
I would say it might just be my perspective with it, but anytime I watch animation or anime, no matter how it's brought up, portrayed, I have a little bit harder of a time kind of saying, all right, this is a real life. Like I don't get past it's a movie. So when I hear it, like this one sounded like Dragon Ball Z. Like it reminded me so much of like Dragon Ball, with it's a little bit more emotional than I guess what you'd expect in real life.
Right.
But it's, it keeps you entertained and it keeps you going. That you never really fall out with what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That it's I think a little harder to portray animated characters, and then you get that. That's why you get a little bit more of that Canada.
Yeah. Canada.
Yeah. Like I don't know how many there's a lot of screaming in the film.
There's a lot of screaming, a lot of people screaming Canada's name.
Yeah.
Which, it's great because you get to hear them say the word Canada.
Yeah. Yes.
I think my favorite scene in the movie is when Tetsuo is on the bridge and the like religious like cult leader or whatever is like following him, and he's like letting them follow him or whatever. Like he doesn't kill him or whatever, but then like the tanks come and they like shoot at Tetsuo, and obviously he doesn't get hurt because he's like this super powerful dude or whatever, but the people behind him just get slaughtered, and he the religious leader like kind of like sinks into the water and he gets crushed by all these rocks and stuff like that, and it's weirdly telling of how the dynamic is between like Tetsuo and his powers and like the people around him, because like obviously they think he's Akira and they revere him as like a god, and so essentially there's like this commentary of like, we will worship you until the very end, and then like meanwhile Tetsuo just doesn't give a shit. Like
he doesn't. Because I don't think he doesn't really know.
Well, that, and he's like completely ambivalent to it. Like he doesn't kill them. Like he's not angry with them.
Right.
He's just like, oh, these guys are following me now, whatever. And then they die, and he's like, oh, they're dead. Oh well. And then he just keeps going.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I had a hard. It kind of. Oh my God! It felt like a false. Not a false prophet, but I just don't think there could have been that whole group behind him or no one behind him. So I mean, like I guess what you're saying a little bit of, yeah, I thought it was kind of funny that the reason why I'm laughing at it is the guy the whole time's preaching about, the world that we're living in, it's all false. Akira's going to bring it back. Like, worship the flames, worship the fire, like whatever it goes, like we are with you, we are one, take us down, take us out, however it goes.
Yeah.
And then he's falling into it and he's, help me, save me,
yeah.
Like you have all this bravado around like what you're saying. And then when it actually is getting to that point, you're completely human again.
Yeah.
There's no political decisions behind what you're saying.
You revert to instinct.
Yeah. So I had a fun time with that one as I'm watching that guy kind of go down, and I was like, wow, there you go. That's just how we all are. I mean, dude, everyone's got all this bravado until you get down to the bare bones of it, and we're all just, animals.
Yeah. Everyone knows what they're doing until they get punched in the face, essentially.
Yeah, well,
everyone's got a plan until they get punched.
It wasn't even, I mean, it's more like you got an angry bear coming at you.
Metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
When it's applied to this scene. But yeah, I really like that scene. I thought it was good. Was there anything that you had with it that you didn't like or like had a criticism or anything?
No. Oh, well, I think there's a difference between how the film was made. I mean, obviously it's made for theatrical purposes, but there was some of the editing, the scenes. I was trying to think, like you watch a live action movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, like even if a scene ends and dovetails into another scene, sometimes like you get the editing behind it, but you don't really feel like, all right, we've cut next, right? With this one, it was clear. It just would go black and out. All right, on to the next scene. Here we go. Some of them, I mean, were a little decently paced, and some of them were just like 30 seconds on to the next. You know, so I had a hard time with kind of not figuring out the acts, but like where we were at or where we were going. So I think it's just because it was made, in a different country. Like if I had to, I think they got their own way of kind of doing film. So that was probably about it. Just me not being used to that style.
Okay.
Other than that, it would be a little bit of, I mean, I guess you have to be a little engrossed with what's going on, or you gotta, either you gotta sit there and really think about like what they're trying to say, like what your interpretation of the film is, or you just gotta love that this is like, Neo Tokyo dystopian future, and we're kicking ass biker gangs, taking out, we're trying to find God. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you can live in one of those two worlds, I think you'll be fine with it. If at one point you're like, don't know what they're saying, and I hate that this is so weird. You're gonna be completely out of it.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
Other than that, I mean, I think it, it was good. I mean, like, and I had a couple points in the beginning when I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what was going on. I was losing interest a little bit because I'm like, this guy isn't going to softball this in here for me. Like, I'm going to have to kind of see, so that, and then it brings you back into it a little bit about, all right, well, where are we going? Am I going to be able to piece it back together? And I think, for a little bit I did.
Yeah.
So
no, those are good points, I think. And
yeah, as I say, what about for you? What do you have? Do you got any criticisms, or did you just enjoy yourself throughout?
No, I really enjoyed it for the most part. I think if I did have a criticism, it would be, I think, for the most part, the sound design was really good, but a lot of the time it was super loud, like almost to the point where like I had to turn my TV down quite a bit, like to like the. If I normally watch it at like a 15, I would have to turn it down all the way to like a 2 or 3. And
really?
for scenes where they're like shooting guns, or like ceilings are getting smashed through, or like walls are getting smashed through. And there's like a lot of those scenes, obviously.
I wonder if it was
this movie's filled with destruction.
Oh my God, yes.
So the whole time I'm doing that, it's like this is like, it sounds good, but it's really loud, and I thought it was a little bit much at times, for me personally.
That's why I'm wondering if they maybe did a little different editing, or I don't know, because I didn't have that issue at all. I was watching this at like 16, and
yeah, maybe they turned down the like sound effects for like background noise or whatever, or not background noise, but just sounds happening in general.
I mean, there is a lot of destruction. I'm not saying it's not. A lot of that stuff, it is loud, but I didn't really have a noticeable difference from other movies that I've watched.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what makes this movie different compared to others, because I mean, I saw Dune in the IMAX and I thought that was perfect, and it was loud as hell. But watching it at home with the sound effects going off like that, it was kind of jarring a little bit. Which, I mean, it's like the first and only movie that I've kind of like had that issue with. Excuse me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yikes.
Dust mites.
Yeah. My powers are overtaking my body. I'm turning into a grotesque baby monster right now. So yeah, that's essentially pretty much it. And then, I can see the perspective of like, okay, you're thrust into this world and you don't know what's going on, and you're expected to sort of pick it up as you go along. There's no exposition really, but I kind of like that in this movie, especially after watching Eternals, and like they have like a scroll of like 3 paragraphs of info that you think you need but you don't need because the movie's so boring you don't really care.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I like that they did that, but that's just me.
Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah.
What would you rate it? Is the question.
So I mean, I'm still tinkering with the scale. I'm still trying to figure out, but from a movie quality, this is definitely like I would, 7 or an 8. I think the anime, it was beautiful. I mean, there's so much to get lost in. Some of the bike chase scenes, like when they're not doing the, with the foot, you're just zipping by, but like when they hover out, and a lot of like the underbelly of the city. I mean, I thought it was just really, it captured the feel for me.
Yep.
In terms of like enjoyment or pleasurability, like the fun, the laughs, the thoughts, I mean, all that, I'd probably give it probably like a 4, a 4 or a 5. Like there's not like a whole lot of laughs for me. Like a lot of it was like, when I say laughs, I mean, it's just kind of like when you're sitting there and you're going along and you're able to kind of take that breath, sit back and it doesn't do that.
It doesn't do that.
It's such a frenetic pace, and I think that there was a lot of themes in here. It wasn't like one centralized theme, so you can get lost a little bit like with what the director's saying or where he's going or just the message as a whole. So I mean, like but and overall, I mean, probably a 7. I mean, I think the visuals as well as being able to think about it, it was really, I mean, well done. I don't know if I'm going to go out and see this like again immediately. But yeah, what about you? What do you got?
I would probably give it a 9 out of 10.
9?
Yep. I think it's great. I think everybody who's over the age of at like 14, I guess, should see it.
Sure. I don't think there's really like probably 14 to have like a little bit more intellect behind like what you're seeing.
Yeah, I mean it's a fairly violent movie that's pretty gruesome at points, I would say.
I guess I don't know. I never see, that's the one thing I never felt that. I never felt there were so many
I didn't think it was overly grotesque. Like it wasn't like
not even grotesque, but I'm saying violent. Like it is like once you kind of get to the end, it might have been the anime factor on me, but I never had. They were shooting lasers, I mean, there was, and like the kid was flying around. Like I never felt like you'd be thinking like this would be in a world.
Yeah, except for that scene where that dude gets shot by all the cops.
That one at the beginning. Yes, no, that one I agree 100% with that. Because they had the biker, the bike chase scene, and they have lead pipes.
Oh yeah,
and they're hitting guys. One guy's arm gets ran over, but there's nothing ever that pops up. You're like, oh, but yeah, no, that scene actually is a little. He's got a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also you get to see boobs for a bit.
Oh yeah, so nice.
Jesus. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. I think it's great.
Good. Cool.
Yeah. Speaking of riding on motorcycles.
Whoa, what?
Dude, I'm killing it with these segues.
Man, I really smooth transition.
Thank you. I'm working on them. We both watched a movie. I asked Mac, "Hey, what do you want to talk about other than Akira on the podcast?" And he's like, "I watched this movie with Mads Mikkelsen. It's called Riders of Justice."
Our boy. By the way, Mads, I think is gonna go on the list. So I was talking to my brother about the list,
Yeah.
I think Mads could go on that list.
The list of like
that's going to be my next top 5 for you.
Like guys who haven't like won an Oscar but are still like
guys that are dudes. So
guys that are dudes.
Guys that are dudes. All right,
dude, I can't wait for that list.
I'm telling you. We could put it off till next week. Because I think that's going to be the one. You can think about that one too. That would be. I know we do surprises, but like,
let's save it. I kind of
He's got his 5, and I got a couple that kind of span into that.
I feel like there could be a good discussion if we like think about it a bit and like choose the right people.
So we'll do that. But I think Mads, at least for me, is getting onto my list of guys that are dudes.
Yeah. Well, now that you say that, he's going on mine for sure. But yeah, we watched a movie called Riders of Justice. It is a Danish film starring Mads Mikkelsen, directed by Anders Thomas Jensen. Fairly simple name compared to the Akira director. But did you want to give a quick synopsis?
Yeah.
Since you're the one who told me to watch it.
Yeah. So this movie's been out for, I don't know, a couple years now. Maybe 2.
November 2020.
So this movie's been out a year now. And Mads is in it, and I've heard about it. So I was hanging out, and I was like, man, I'm gonna throw this on. I gotta check it out. I like Mads a lot. He's fallen into favor with you. Maybe.
Yeah,
you're kind of shaking your head like no. Like,
no, I was nodding. I was agreeing with you.
I'm just kidding.
you dingus. Don't lie to our audience.
Yeah, all the audience members are now shaking in disgust with you. How could you not like Mads? They don't even know who Mads
Dude,
is.
I watched 2 movies this past year that were like some of my favorites, and both of them had Mads in it.
I'm telling like guys that are dudes.
Guys that are dudes.
That's gonna be the next T-shirt.
Guys that are dudes.
So
add it to the list.
Yeah. So, anyways, the movie is it starts out with a little girl wanting a bike, right? Mm-hmm. And they go to the bike shop, and they said that we can get the bike, right? And they find a bike. You know, we're not going to tell you how, why, where, whatever. They get the bike, and they'll get it taken care of. But then it kind of puts into a system of events, chain of events, and Mads is overseas. He does work for the army for the...
Yeah, he's in the military.
Yeah, the military. I don't know what...
Yeah, I don't remember what exactly either.
Swedish military?
Well, I mean, I think it's...
what is his nationality?
Well, he's Danish.
Danish.
So the Danish military,
yeah,
I guess
he's
you could
black
say.
ops. He's a hard ass.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, and anyways, he's talking to his daughter and his wife and whatever, and he says, I'm gonna be overseas for a little bit longer. Well, they say, all right, and they end up having to hop on a train, right? And they get on the train, and there's an accident, right? And Mads find out it's involving his wife, and he has to come back. And once he gets back, he's a little depressed. Things are happening, and there's a professor that was on the train, a guy that does risk analysis, statistical performance. I mean, he looks at, I don't even know how to chain of events and the probability of it happening or what it could represent, like the coincidences, I guess is that they phrased it. Mm-hmm. And he meets up with Mads and says this was no coincidence, and it takes off from there. It's a bunch of buddies that kind of get together, work with Mads. They're an odd couple, 100%.
That is true.
And it goes down and to finding out what caused this, and that's where it goes. So, that's really all I want to say about it too.
Yeah. So that's a good summary of it.
I mean, that's how it was kind of placed to me.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know where it was going to go. I just knew Mads was going to be a military guy, and that there was these 3, I don't even know what to call them.
They're nerds, basically. They're
fucking nerds.
Yeah,
I'm glad you
They're
said
a bunch
it.
of fucking geeks, dude. You had me watch this movie with a bunch of nerds in it.
Oh my god. I feel like fucking nerds.
Yeah, I couldn't watch this movie seriously because I just wanted to give everyone in it a wedgie.
Oh my god,
and a swirly.
Fucking just put them right into like the dog shit and make them lick it.
Yeah, friggin' Otto's going on about statistical analysis. Meanwhile, I'm just wanting to like wet William.
Yeah, get your buddy do the old leaning chair gimmick on him.
Yeah.
Tabletop his ass.
Yeah. So steal his binder and stuff, like a bunch of like candy wrappers in it, and like old chips and stuff in it.
Break his number 2 pencil and give him like a filled up sharpener.
That last thing, that totally did not happen to me in real life.
Really?
I mean,
you were a nerd?
I have flatlined this conversation.
I was gonna say you cut the feed, man. That's you were a nerd.
Man, we're not live, but if we were, that would be a Justin Timberlake moment at the Super Bowl.
Wait, did he pull down Janet's tit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would have been. I was exposed essentially. I was in the same exact position. Feel sympathy for me.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. No. This movie is essentially like Mads Mikkelsen is a hard ass, and he's got these nerd friends that he's like going around the city like fighting these like biker gang called the Riders of Justice. Which is where the title comes in from.
Yeah, talk about on the nose.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if because I think I saw a trailer for this movie like when they first announced it.
Yeah.
So like way back, like mid 2020 probably. And I watched it and I thought to myself like, oh, Mads is like the leader of like the other biker gang. Like he's essentially in a biker gang.
Yeah.
But he's helping these nerds out because essentially they want the same thing that he wants.
The Danish army is kind of like a biker gang, or the Danish military,
or just a gang, you know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know anything about the Danish military infrastructure.
Let's be careful. Let's tread lightly here. You never know.
We don't want
how this gets brought up into other.
Who knows?
We don't.
There could be a Danish Marine that's listening right now, pissed off, and he's gonna come for us. We're the bad guys in this.
Well,
scenario.
you're the nerd right now. All right.
That's true. I wouldn't say I'm Otto. I'm more like Leonard. You know, because I don't have a bad arm, and also I like to crack jokes a lot. You know,
was Leonard the one? Did he?
He was like the skinny one with like the curly hair. That scene where he goes out into the field. So I guess we can get into spoilers for Riders of Justice.
Dude, I love this movie so much.
This movie. It's funny because on Wikipedia it lists it as like an action comedy, which is very much what it is.
It is so, but it's
absurd.
If I say action comedy, you're like, oh, The Rock. You know, like you're naming like John Cena. You know, like maybe Mark Wahlberg, like shit like that.
The Pacifier with Vin Diesel.
Yeah, like action comedy like that is like, oh, there's gonna be some zany events going on here.
Rush Hour.
Yeah. Where it's there's a little bit believable, and then there's like there's all the crap that happened. Like, there's no way Chris Rock could be doing. Or not Chris Rock. Who's that?
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying?
You.
Yeah. I hope they do too. Talk about Rush Hour and not remember Chris Tucker. Where have you gone, Chris Tucker? All right, I'm gonna place this on you.
Yeah, he kind of dropped off after those movies. Yeah.
Caught his royalties.
Anyway.
So action comedy. So I mean, you say it like that, but that's kind of like what I envision. And then this is truly action comedy.
It's well so I guess first off, like just the action alone is really good, I would say.
Oh my god!
I feel like it doesn't overwhelm you with it. It just gives you like the necessary amount. Like, oh, Mads Mikkelsen like answers or like opens the door. The guy behind it is like a dickhead, and Mads Mikkelsen is going to deal with him somehow.
Yep.
So then like he deals with him, quick, boom, boom, done. Like that's it. And then like the story continues after that. You know? It's not like he goes and he kills the dude and then there's like 4 more upstairs that he's also got to deal with. It's like
and then the music kicks in. And it's just thump. Yeah,
it serves a purpose.
Yep, all of it.
And I really liked that. At least in the first part of the movie. We can get into specifics later, but
I talk about it all. I don't care if you guys haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you that right now. Like this, I've never been like more enthralled. Well, I can't say it like that. I was totally enthralled with this. It had me laughing my ass off, but then, like you said, the action with it was so like on point.
Yeah, and it didn't feel frivolous. At least for the most part, like it didn't feel like it was like throwaway moments.
Right.
Like I feel like you can kind of like feel that in some action movies where it's like there's action going on here, but there's no real weight to it. Yes. Like there was weight to the scenes in this movie.
All of them.
Mm-hmm. Most of them, I would say.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We'll get into it.
Hold on now. Yeah. What's most? I was about to say you might say something too because I don't remember. I don't remember any point that I was like it was.
For me, I guess to spoil the movie, I guess the ending where like they're all outside his house and they've got his daughter and his daughter's boyfriend like captive, and they're all like lined up perfectly next to each other, and Mads Mikkelsen comes out and he's like about to surrender, and then all of his buddies like get all the guns and they like start shooting down the bikers and they all get slaughtered. I thought that moment was like a little okay, like I don't know. Like it just seems a little too convenient.
They were doing execution style.
Yeah,
I mean, and it wasn't like so. it's funny that happens. You're like, all right, how is he gonna get out of this, right? And so they had the scene where they were doing the stuff. They're shooting it. The one guy couldn't hold it. The other guy can't shoot it, and then the third guy, the heavier guy, goes ape shit on all those cans.
Yeah.
You know, and so he's hitting them, but obviously there was no target practice. I mean, he just unloaded a clip.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you kind of knew where he was going to be at if he ever got a gun in his hands of what he was going to do.
Right. And I liked that connection to it, you know. It definitely like foreshadowed what was going to happen in that sense.
Yeah.
But for me, it kind of felt a little too convenient and a little too abrupt, I guess. Like,
I mean, if you're going with the pace of the film and how, like, because we are talking about, like, in realistic events, I mean, that if that were to go down, I mean, it's not going to, they weren't going to hold their own in there.
Right.
You know, you got one guy and he got shot. I liked it for that sense of it. I mean, the only issue I had on this is the one that I had with it.
Mm-hmm.
They shoot the two kids in the arms because that's what you're supposed to do with hostages. You pick I'm assuming cartilage. Take them out for the sudden but they didn't show them having that type of accuracy whatsoever.
I was gonna say, like, I thought it was an accident. I thought they just shot them as an accident.
No, I mean they do and then both of them drop and then they just unload.
Yeah.
So I mean it wasn't like if you were gonna unload a clip, like if they were gonna unload, they would have just went like right there.
Because like I'm thinking like, okay, they're definitely like shooting very sloppily at these bad guys.
After the kids go down.
After the kids duck, but like
they didn't duck. Both of them got hit in their arms.
Well, they're forced to duck, I guess you could say.
No. They shot them to bring them down like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
Like the pain, like you just get hit and you drop.
Okay. The kids plank. They plank essentially.
Yeah.
And
but
so
they both. Yeah.
Yeah. But like that scene happens and it's like, okay, they like if they shoot the kids in the arm with like this accuracy or whatever, and then they just like unload on all the bad guys, it's like it went from like being super accurate and precise to like just like shoot everywhere.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's my gripe with it.
Yeah, which
like I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part, I liked the action, but like that scene was a little too much for me, I think.
Yeah.
And I wish there was a little bit more after it, because like this movie is almost 2 hours long.
Yeah,
and I wish.
like...
Yeah, I wish it had like an extra like maybe 15 minutes of like.
Yes. What would you have had?
Confrontation. I don't know, just something like Mads dealing with like the bad guy or something like.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like confronting not
agree.
only the bad guy, but like the decisions that he's made prior to the movie. You know, when they find out that the train essentially like was an accident, and so like they've been doing like all that they've been doing for nothing basically.
Yeah.
And I wish there was a little more moment of like reflection there with like Mads and like his confrontation with like the final bad guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I agree with that, because when they do all that stuff and he gets the gun and it's just, he walks up to him. I was like, oh, that's the lieutenant. I honestly thought for the longest time, I was like, that's the lieutenant. He's going to drive to the warehouse now. And then I'm kind of looking at it. I was like, no, that's the guy.
That's the head honcho.
Like, and it was kind of like one of those like, well, I don't think it's like we want to end it. But I mean, if we've taken this route with the ending, we might as well just make this at least the most unbelievable part of the film.
Yeah. And I'm surprised that nobody on Mads' side died. There's like they shot in the house and like nobody got killed. Even Mads lives at the end when they do that thing. And this was another gripe that I kind of had. They do that thing where like he's holding his daughter and he's like leaning up against the tree and like she's like, no, just stay awake, Dad. And he's like kind of like drifting in and out and like you think he's gonna die, and then the ending like cuts, like it jumps forward in time to Christmas and Mads is sitting there with like this cute little sweater on and he lived, and he's like, all right, well the movie just pulled that, so that's cool.
Yeah, I was kind of I when they get to that, I was like, all right, are they gonna do it? Were they to me, that two endings I had in my head when they were laying there was one, it's Otto, right? That was with the glasses.
Yep.
And she kind of takes after him, so he finally gets a daughter that he messed up with. She kind of gets the dad that she's always wanted, and they both have that. The conduit is Matt, so they'll always have him in his heart for bringing, it's bringing them together. Not like, it's kind of weird to say, but
Yeah.
Like kind of forming a relationship over what happened, for Mads, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm like,
or Mads is like, hey, I'm still alive.
yeah, they're gonna bring him back, and
I've got this nice little sweater on for
he's
Christmas.
gonna be just as annoyed as he always is.
Yeah, and I still look like I'm pissed off with a shaved head and a long beard.
Yeah,
which, badass look, by the way.
Hey, and not only that, but I was like, at least they bring him back, and he isn't like smiling and laughing, like he's still just grumpy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's still alive, but he's not like even like thankful that he made it out of there. It's just back to me.
Does he? I don't think he smiles once in this movie.
No,
I don't think he cracks one at all, which I mean is fine. It's in his character, but it's still a funny observation.
Well,
He's so serious the whole time.
Oh my god, that's what I think. To me, that's what makes it so funny is that you have these.
Oh yeah, you
nerds with them.
You have a foil to like all these goofy nerd
Oh
characters.
my god!
And then Mads is there just like super pissed the entire time.
The whole time, and these idiots are just going out and. When they get in the argument about the cleaning detergent, about what would do clean off the blood the best.
Oh yeah.
These guys, dude, they're so freaking funny.
I think that the best contrast scene of Mads' character and the others is when they're in the car and they're driving towards like the clubhouse where like all the bikers are at, and Mads is gonna like kill a bunch of them. Otto's like talking about like he says something about like
his daughter.
Yeah, his daughter.
Yeah.
And then like Mads just like sits there for a moment, turns around and punches him straight in the nose, knocks him out.
Well, he says if you say one more thing, because he had that before, but the other guy was doing it. You say one more thing, and then they kind of gets quiet, and then the guy leans back in, and he's like, I'm just, and then he was about to go into it, and
Yeah. Just a quick like bam. And then they dump him out on the sidewalk, leave him there. And then when they're driving back, they just pick him back up.
So funny. Well, was it after? So, like, after he killed the guy, when they're driving and the one guy's going on about his, he's telling, like, your daughter has, like, a weight complexion. Like, she thinks she's fat when she isn't. That's what we're doing. And it's, like, telling, like, don't mess with my daughter. And that's when he does it the first time. You say one more word, I will break your face. Mm-hmm. And then the guy leans back, and then he goes back in, and Mads stops the car. And the guy gets out.
Yeah.
That was the first time. So, I mean, like, those guys had, like, they've seen his power, but it's also to, like, their effect. Like, they can't help themselves. They're the smartest guys in the room, so they have to,
Yeah.
they got to get it out.
They're the smartest guys in the room, but they're also the dumbest at the same time.
Oh, my God, dude. Such a freaking comedy. Oh, my God.
So, you've got Otto, who's, like, the leader of, like, the nerd group, basically. Yeah. Like, he's the most, like, straight-laced out of the three of them.
They do a really good... Yeah, I don't know if you want to go. I was about to say the very beginning.
Yeah. He's very like analytical. He's clearly like a super intelligent dude. Pretty straight laced. You can tell that there's like a history of like tragedy with him, with like, his daughter dying, and like his arm being all screwed up the way like he's got a useless arm basically.
Yep.
That he has to like carry with him the whole time. And then you've got Leonard, who's like the comic relief, like weirdo.
Yeah,
like he's the one that like always loves to like interject and like have his own thoughts going, while his thoughts are like not on the beaten path at all with anything.
Not even close. And they tie in, but like so far to the right or the left. Mm-hmm. Not picking up the tone of the room, but being like talking about the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly. I think he was my favorite character.
Leonard?
Out of the whole movie.
Oh yeah, I think between him and Mads for me, like I thought the both of those guys, the whole group, man, they were so good.
Yeah, and then you've got Ermenthaler, who's like the overweight sort of like computer hacker dude who can like get into like all these different like security systems and find out all this information about these guys and stuff like that. I didn't mind him. I thought at certain points he was kind of annoying, but I don't think it like took too much away from it. I will say that he was probably my least favorite character.
Really?
Out of the movie? Yeah, I think so. And that's saying a lot because the daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah, well, but
he didn't become too much of a nuisance. Mads punches him once, and then he comes back and he's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, I was about to say I don't even really. He was kind of like in the group, but
kinda at the same time, not really.
Yeah,
I like the scene. I do like the scene where the like Riders of Justice leader is like interrogating him, and he's like, I'm gonna break one of your fingers if you don't tell me where they are.
God.
And then he's like, I'll tell you. And he's like, well, now I'm gonna break 2 for interrupting me.
Yep.
And I'm gonna break 3 because you're a snitch.
Dude, there's so many like this little comedic pieces in there, dude. Oh my god.
Because I was thinking to myself, like, man, he gave them up quick. Like, he didn't even fight it off first. Like, give it a little bit of show,
I was watching this with my buddy, and like we both kind of laughed about that. But I'm like, what's his fucking beef in this fight?
Yeah,
like, are you
yeah.
serious? Like, I will say though, I don't know if that guy was getting laid or not. I had to pause it. If you watch some of so they're texting a little bit.
The eggplant emojis.
Yes, you saw it too.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, someone's getting laid.
Or they're sending eggplant. Like, you can send eggplant emojis without it meaning anything. I send them to my friends all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fine.
I mean, it's like you gotta, the context in which it's sent. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're talking about making like a salad or something, like completely fine.
Yeah. Usually I send like a picture accompanied with it, but I mean, I'm not gonna get into the specifics.
Yeah.
Of that.
No. That's 100%. Like, is it like a Cobb salad that you send?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like a Cobb, kind of like a Caesar,
Yeah.
Different types of salad.
Sure. Any dressing?
Oh, there's dressing.
Oh, whoa. All right.
Yeah. Might cut that out. Who knows?
Getting saucy.
Yeah, getting dressing.
Yeah.
Getting
no,
dressing.
so I mean, like,
Not dressed.
I'm like, I don't think he really has a dog in the fight. So
He doesn't, but there's still like, I mean, he's dating his daughter, so there's got to be like some kind of like, I mean, the scene goes well
right,
into
dude,
it.
You have a biker gang show up to your house, and you have a biker gang show up to your house, and you're dating someone, and you're telling me you're protecting her honor when they got like 7 dudes with guns. Like, you've been dating for 6 months.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. Like,
you're 17.
I mean, I'm saying the scene was good. It was a good scene. Like, it
yeah,
displayed his cowardice and
Yeah.
the fact that they acknowledge it.
I'm defending him, saying I don't blame the guy. Like, he's got no dog in the fight. Like, there's absolutely no reason for him to try to be the tough guy and like show off.
What? You didn't think he could be the tough guy with like his blue hair and his skinny, lanky frame?
There's no reason. If that
his like weird like jorts that he had on, his
Yeah,
like
he's
basketball
going
shorts
through a
with like
phase,
leggings
dude.
underneath.
Yeah.
I don't get Danish fashion, man. It's
Well, you can't base it all off one guy that's going through some
off of this like Danish Zoomer.
Yeah, youth and revolt.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't even know if he was like that though. He didn't seem all that.
Makes me want to revolt. I'll tell
Whoa,
you what.
yeah. Talk about that Cobb salad. Oh,
Dude, this episode's gonna be hell for people.
oh my god. Yeah. So that was your favorite scene. All right.
Oh yeah, by far.
Really?
No. My favorite scene probably was I do like when Otto got punched, but I think my favorite scene was like that first confrontation that Mads has with the guy's brother in the house.
Yeah, you kind of get to see like,
because that's the scene. I wish they didn't show it in the trailer because it's such like a turning point in the movie.
100%.
Because like they're about to leave.
Yeah.
And they could just like let it be, not have any trouble. But Mads chooses to go back and he like snaps his neck, and it's like, well, they're at a point of no return now.
Yeah.
And I really like that. You could tell that that's where the scene was at, and the scene itself I thought was just really.
They
well
built
done.
up so much tension to that point, and it's actually funny because I was shocked that he turned around and walked away.
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna do it like it was just gonna be like fuck you, And then they get out, and I was like, oh, whoa, maybe like, and then he just the best part is they're walking, and he like does like one of those like no, and turns it around, and I was like, oh shit, like he like verbally out loud was like, oh shit, like,
yeah,
it's dropping.
Yep.
And then they have like, oh my, and then the fucking nerds, man.
Yeah, like the 5-minute long scene of them like discussing how to get rid of like DNA evidence.
Oh my god, so funny. Those guys, dude. There's so much humor in this film. And
There's a lot of like weird molestation humor, which Must be like a type of Danish humor or something.
Well, I mean, the one guy that they had there was like a sex slave, so they kind of, I mean, he is essentially a prostitute, but instead of like whoring the streets, he gets sold family or person to person.
Yeah, and he's like, that's essentially all he knows, because there's that scene where he's like, him and Leonard are like about to go to bed, and he's like, Leonard, do you want to F me in my a-hole tonight?
Yeah.
And Leonard's like, no, I'm okay. Thank you, though. He's like so considerate about it.
Well, they were both being polite. Like he's like offering up a dish, and he's like, "No, I'm full, thanks."
Yeah. Gosh.
Oh my god.
And then there's that scene where Leonard goes into the.
I genuinely want people to watch that for themselves. I had no idea, dude. I was laughing my ass off.
Oh man, that scene weirdly reminded me of. Have you ever seen Little Miss Sunshine?
Oh yeah,
the scene where like
they're on the road.
Paul Dano goes out into the field, and
I actually thought
I don't want to spoil it too much, but
I thought it was gonna be like one of those. Yeah, so
but the framing of it was very similar,
dude. Yeah, and I think like the pace, the tone of the film, it never wavers. It's pretty crisp. It
it goes by pretty fast.
I don't think there's ever really a point. I mean, besides the end, like really the ending is kind of somewhat questionable. We both have different reasons for it, but I think we both agree. Like I don't know what else they could have done, but like all the way up to that 90% of the film is just like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever a time you're questioning anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like too the sense of like they kind of like build into a family essentially.
Yeah,
like it's a weird mismatched family that they have.
I don't exactly know, but it was very oh my god, yeah, warm. I'm trying to think of how like warm and
well, it's like wholesome. It's very wholesome.
Yeah,
in
like
a way.
Little Miss Sunshine, and that's actually a great point too, because they're going. They have to do they have to do something and it's a very peculiar purpose.
It's not as drastic, I will say. There's no life
or death. But I mean, like
consequences
in terms,
Little Miss Sunshine, arguably.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in this too, like you never get the sense that Mads isn't going to pull it off though. Like
that's true. They do show his abilities, pretty significantly.
Like in John Wick, where they go through the house.
Oh, I know in John Wick.
Ever question like John Wick not getting away with it? Now they do it like they amp it up to the 10th degree.
Oh yeah.
But even in this, so like a lot of that stuff that they did, it wasn't drawn out, and I don't think it was done like unrealistically. Besides like the last little bit, and that's not, and Mads wasn't a part of it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, all his stuff, like anytime that they're guns in their hands or he's got to do something, I mean, it is like
he's efficient.
Oh my god! Like that's what I'm saying. Nothing drawn out. Like I mean, it's really believable that he's got the training and the knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. So yeah, well, I like the fact that they like become a family in a sense, and
I wish I could think of the word that I mean, wholesome. Yeah.
As convenient as it is, like the ending for Mads to still be alive. I like the fact that they're all like kind of together and
they're celebrating Christmas.
And they're like hanging out and all this stuff, and
everyone's there.
Yeah,
they're sharing gifts.
Yeah, it's like nice and wholesome in a way.
100%.
So yeah, I really like that. You've heard my criticisms of the movie, I guess. Did you have any besides like maybe the instance with like the guns and stuff at the end?
No, I didn't. Mine were a little bit with that. I don't know. I just if you're gonna do that to me, I got to see a little bit more with the training or I mean, it really felt like they emptied the clip, and Mads is like, well, hopefully this never happens, and they all just left the forest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never, like, you didn't get the sense that he's like, if you're going to be patient, to be like, all right, we're going to learn how to do this. So, no, I mean, it was, like I said, well-paced. I mean, anytime that something popped up that it was a little bit like you'd think it'd go one way and it didn't. I mean, they kept it genuine for the most part. There's a scene in the barn where they go over some stuff. Him and Otto talk, and I thought that was like, I really thought like, all right, this is where Otto separates from the group, and like, you know, and he goes, no, like that, and then you have that kind of togetherness.
Yeah.
Like they both have a sense of like loss, and you know, Mads is projecting a little bit, and Otto's there to show him like, nope, you can't blame yourself for being away from your wife and why this happened.
And like the movie too, and I'm glad you mentioned it too, like that scene where they're in the barn talking to each other.
Yeah.
Like this movie is very much like a comedy movie, but it's not afraid to be heartfelt and dramatic and like have those like really heavy scenes in it, like when Mads finds out that they're basically doing it all for nothing.
Yeah.
He has that breakdown in the bathroom, and he starts like breaking shit, and there's that moment where he's like trying to rip something off the wall, but he just quite can't.
I mean,
it's like, all right, that's a little bit funny, but
yeah,
the scene for the most part is quite dramatic and heavy.
And you feel for him, too.
You like sympathize with this character, and that like, oh crap, like he's killed people for basically like no reason. I mean, granted, they're bad people, but
yeah,
essentially for like no reason, right? Like this misplaced sense of revenge.
I was about to say you get that, but also the sense of maybe purpose he had, you know, for avenging his wife. Like it was for something. Like she did die, and I will, you know, solve this. And then you kind of get that sense where it's just he has no control over the situation or over himself. I mean, he's just kind of lost it.
Yeah, because like there's that notion of like something bad happens to you or your family. It's easy to like try and find something or someone to blame. And so he almost immediately accepted it as fact that the nerds were coming up to him and going like, hey, this train accident wasn't an accident. We suspect that it's this biker gang that's behind it all.
Yeah.
And Mads is like, cracks his knuckles, and he's like, let's go. And he fucking just goes and kills all these people like it's nothing. And then he finds out that, oh yeah, by the way, the train was actually just an accident, and we like got the guy on the train like facial analysis wrong, and he's like actually this dude who is Egyptian or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he like just has this breakdown in the bathroom, and it's a great scene, I think. Like
it really is.
Probably one of the better like breakdown scenes I've seen. And I when I watch a movie, those scenes are some of the ones that I enjoy the most, where like the character just like the weight of everything like comes crashing down on them, and then you get to like really see their performance come out.
Yeah.
And it's very telling of whether or not the actor can actually like pull it off, and Mads is definitely like one of those dudes that can.
Do you think he was really trying to rip that thing off the wall? Like,
I have no idea.
Do you think he just got into character? And like, I was watching it. That's how believable it was. Like, he grabbed it, and I was like, oh, I bet you the director just was like, anything in here, go to town.
Yeah, and just like start. Yeah, I mean, because like that's essentially what would happen if like you actually had a breakdown like that. Like you try to like rip something off the wall that you can't, and like you struggle with it for a bit, so then you just move on to the next thing. And it's like, from the outside perspective, you know, it's kind of like a comical moment, which kind of like goes along with like the themes of this movie.
Yes.
But from his point, like the character's point of view, it's like, I'm trying to like rip this. It's like this animalistic thing.
I was about to say, you could comical, but it's also relatable. I mean, like you just said, like we've both been in those situations that mad where you go to rip, you know, the phone book in half, and you're sitting there. Then you throw it down and go and you find like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so like I think it's because it's in those moments too that, you know, if you've had that afterwards, when you kind of look back and you're able to collect yourself, you can kind of go, boy, that was really stupid. Or like when you get super mad and you punch the wall and it turns out you hit, you know, it's not drywall. You hit the stud, you know, and then you kind of, I mean, as long as you don't break anything, you look back and go, man, that was like really fucking dumb of me.
Yeah. Side note, despite my name being Kyle, I have never punched a hole in drywall. Never.
Oh, is that your monster joke?
Yeah. That's my,
that was a big,
hey, you must ride a dirt bike and drink Monster the whole time and punch holes in drywall.
I'm telling you, man, like there's a lot of Kyles out there. Like, I don't think every Kyle has that, you know.
Yeah.
Stigma.
No, they don't. I certainly don't. Or at least I don't
stereotype, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had Monster either. There are definitely Kyles that I went to school with that.
Everyone's got
that description.
You
know, I'm not gonna name names, even though I just kind of did. But whatever, it's my name.
Yeah,
I can do with it what I want.
There you go.
Can't take away my identity.
Fuck them.
I'm a strong woman.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like that scene. I think I'm gonna change my answer from favorite scene. I think that one is my favorite. Now that I think about it, yeah, because like, now that I remember it and like the weight of it and stuff, I thought
it's
it was
a really good scene. I mean, that to go from. I mean, it goes from. I can't remember. Do they find out they got the wrong guy to Otto and his talk? I mean, dude.
No, I think Otto has his talk after, right?
After the breakdown.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because it's before the dudes show up to the house.
Right. That's what I was trying to I'm trying to remember a little bit of the events in my head because they pretty much put the X on their back when they showed up at the bar, right? And then it's after that they figure out, oops.
Yeah.
And then it kind of gets into, and then Otto, he has a talk with the daughter too. I mean, and there's some stuff in here too. I mean, with like religion. I mean, it's a lot of.
Yeah, they touch on that a bit. Like Mads is a hardcore atheist. He goes on the atheism subreddit and he makes a bunch of posts all day.
Yeah. That's why him and Ermenthal are related so much.
There is no God. Quit being a plebeian, I guess you could say. But,
so I mean, the guy had to go in there and talk to the daughter. But no, for me, my favorite scene would be the first showing up to the house, 100%.
Oh yeah, when they like first tell him.
Oh no! When they get up there and he knocks on the door and the guy's like, "What do you want?"
House.
I mean, like that was that's verbally out loud went, "Oh fuck!" Like. It's on.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden he kind of does like, I'll handle it. And the best too is that Mads doesn't even freak out. He just looks and he goes.
He's so calm about it.
I'll handle it. And you just know, like, one, it's like, oh shit, like he's done this before. And two, he probably just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like fucking, he's drinking like a 12-pack every night and smoking grits. But yeah. There's I thought it was fantastic.
Awesome. I guess if you had to rate it, what would it be?
So probably a 9 all around. I
Okay.
mean, like in terms of quality of film, but also in terms of like enjoyment. Like, I mean, there's some serious, things going on in here, a little heavy, but I mean, the comedy, I thought it was just really the pace and the tone of it the whole time. It never had to dive into one area. I thought it moved beautifully, like a tapestry woven.
Oh,
quilt.
Wow, that's very ASMR of you. Wow.
Who's that?
What?
Who's ASMR? Why are there so many videos of him on the interweb?
Yeah. So what about you? What do you got? You got any?
I would give it a 7 out of 10.
7?
Yep. I thought it was a good movie all around. I'll probably end up rewatching a lot of the action scenes on YouTube as time goes on, especially that like first action scene. I did have a little bit of an issue with like the way it ended kind of and like how sudden it was and like the way it was like executed, I guess for lack of a better word, executed. Haha. Get it? Because they were all executed at the end. But yeah, I thought the ending was like a little too abrupt. I would have liked some more time developing that conflict a little bit. But
yeah, I'm wondering too, because like as we talked about, we both wanted 15 more minutes. Like, can you just have like 6 guys show up or something like that? Mads realizes that they know who they are now.
Well, it's
and
like
now we got to go back on the hunt.
Well, it's like the biggest issue for me too is like they're all standing next to each other. Like they're not gonna scatter about. They're not gonna try to like give themselves like a wider range of like surrounding the house. I guess I don't know. It was just.
I mean, it reminded me like of any like execute. Like for me, that's why I didn't have it. Like I just kind of like, oh, it's like an execution. Like you watch The Walking Dead when, I mean, they had him wind up like that in The Walking Dead when what's his nuts comes out there with the baseball bat. I mean, you've knees on the ground. I don't know if they knew that the guys were in there still. Because I'm with you a little bit. Like if what do they really know? But all the intel that they had I mean, what did the kid say, that they just lived over there and it was Mads and his daughter?
Yeah, I guess that's true. But.
I mean, I'm not gonna get too much because I'm with you, dude. I didn't. It was I thought it was humorous, but like I had a little bit of a problem with it, kind of just ending like that. Like,
yeah,
you know, I mean, you can't. You're a writer, man. You got like your ending's got to mean a lot, you know. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it felt a little too like storybook at points.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why I get that a lot because I mean, there are two things that happen that we've addressed. I mean, you know, and fucking just let him go, let him go. Have a nice sentimental, you know, and then they could all have like a here's for you, Dad, or Mads,
Mad Dad.
Mad Dad Revolver,
Red Dead Redemption. I've been playing Red Dead 2. I don't know if you've ever played it, but it's fun. It's fun so far.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Anyway, 7 out of 10. Check it out. I rented it on Prime for 99 cents. I don't know where you saw it. If it was on anything else.
Where did I see it? Because I didn't pay for this.
Oh, really?
But I don't know what I thought I watched it on Prime. I watched it on Prime for free.
Yeah, really? I had to rent it. I mean, it was only 99 cents.
Maybe it was on Hulu. It could have been on like Hulu or Showtime too. I don't know. Maybe. I got like there's the fuck knows, man. I saw it for free, and you only paid 99 cents. So I mean, I hope you haven't. Hopefully, you haven't gotten this far and not seen this film because I don't know if you need that. But I mean, like, I would pay 99 cents to watch this film.
Yeah,
like this.
No, I would have paid. I would have gladly paid like.
How much would you gone up to? $10?
No, not $10.
Not 10.
No, I would have watched it through other means before that.
Okay.
Especially if I'm not going to a theater to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
10's a little heavy.
Probably like
well
the normal.
At that point.
Probably like the normal renting price of like $3.99 or whatever it is.
What if it was $4.99?
Maybe.
That's a little.
Especially considering it is a newer movie. Like
it
came out a year ago, almost exactly. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Like probably that'd be my limit.
$4.99 right there.
Probably.
That's a pretty good. I think you know what our rating system should be.
Especially if you consider if multiple people are watching with you.
What? Yeah. Well, that one everyone pitches in, dude. 50 cents, you get 10 heads there, and I guarantee you 9 out of 10 are gonna like it. Well, and if you're Kyle, 7 out of 10 are gonna like it.
That's true. 7 me's liked this movie.
Yeah. So I mean, like. That might be my fucking new rating system. How much would you pay for that?
Oh, there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think $5.99 might be like
that's not a bad idea.
I'm telling you, this is so for me, this is a $4.99. This is so close to $5.99. I wonder, do they do like $5.50?
I
know
have
what?
no
Fuck
idea.
it.
I don't think they do like.
This is a
$50.
$5.99 film.
Okay.
All right, Kyle, you said $4.99.
$4.99.
Yeah. All right, that's it. That's what I'm doing. So Akira from me would. Oh my god, I hate that there's like no in between two because $2.99 sounds so bad, but then $3.99 is like, man, you're on the cusp. There's a little bit more behind Akira, you know, and because we are going to talk about it. Yeah, I'll say $3.99. I think you could drop $3.99 on that film, and for a movie goer, I will say for a movie goer, if you're in movies for just strictly entertainment and you just want to be wowed, I would say it's probably $2.99. But I think I would drop $3.99 because I appreciated it, and I think it's going to stick in the filmography for me.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. That's I like that rating system. That's
what do you got? You got to give your Akira. You going
my Akira? Oh,
yeah.
I'd go honestly probably like $4.99.
$4.99?
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's a great movie.
I was about to say $5.99 is like at the top. Like $5.99 is.
I'd give it money to the low.
Oh, you know what it is?
The lowest rating is like we torrent it.
No, yeah. 100%. Pirates Bay.
I would give this movie a Pirate Bay out of 10.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh my god, yeah, it's you got torrent. I'd stream it. I'd figure out a way to stream it. Canopy. Yeah. And then you get into it. I think that actually for me, I'm gonna say right now the top rated film. Buy it. Yep. I'm gonna say buy it is the top. Like $6.99 is really close to like. Probably like really new and really good would be a $6.99 film, you know. And then once you get that, it's either gonna, yeah, we got a lot of way to go. There it is. There's my rating system right there.
I'll still rate movies a normal way too. Like,
Well, I'll let you know, but you're gonna get the Mac rating system. Okay. That's the Neon Crew. That's at least how I'm doing it.
Right,
I love it.
I'll indulge with you.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to have my normal one.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Everyone's got their own. But we can. Put this on the back of a T-shirt.
Yeah, the back of it. Okay.
Yeah, or the front. I don't know. We're gonna get the
How much would you pay for this T-shirt?
Yeah, exactly. Touring it. Pirates Bay. Pirate Bay the shirt.
Pirate Bay the Neon Crew T-shirt.
Etsy. They're like, yeah, we could go to.
Oh yeah, freaking Redbubble where like people just steal designs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like yeah, we could. You could just do that.
They'd put Redbubble on. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my Redbubble Supreme shirt. It's like $10. You go on Supreme's website, it's like $75.
Yeah.
Something crazy like that for like a white T-shirt with like a red strip of words on it. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
No thanks.
There we are.
We got her.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so pumped about that. That's how I will view movies now. It's like, what would I pay to watch this thing? Like, is there a thirst? Is there a hunger?
You could even get into like the more niche details of it too. Like, would I borrow this movie from a friend?
I'm telling you.
Would I let them borrow it?
Dude, that's where we're at. There's so many fucking films out there, and I can't wait till you go. Like, you're gonna have the one where you're like, I'd pay $5.99, and I'm gonna go, oh.
Would I want to own this on like 4K or is a Blu-ray fine?
Yeah.
Like,
where are we at with this? This is a VHS buy.
Yeah. Point Break with Keanu Reeves.
Whoa, no, that one is.
You gotta see, you gotta see Keanu in all his 4K glory or whatever.
Point Break,
Johnny Utah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Bodie, you can't do this, Bodie. I'm sorry, Johnny. I belong to the waves.
Oh my god.
I'm like paraphrasing, of course.
Oh,
but,
dude, Catherine Bigelow, man, that is one of my. Second watch of that film really turned me around on it. I love Point Break.
Yeah, I've never seen the remake.
Don't. You don't have to live in that world. There are certain films that come out that you just don't have to watch or acknowledge exist.
I know.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, live action Akira comes out, I'm just gonna be like treated like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Like,
curiosity gets the best of me sometimes, right? Because I'll go and I'll see a movie in theaters just based on curiosity. That's why I went and saw Venom too.
Do you eat anchovies?
No.
Do you just eat onions like apples?
Listen, I'm
you're
talking about consumption of the eyes and the brain, not of the mouth.
It's a sense, all right, that you're poisoning.
I'm getting dumber because I'm curious.
What do you gain besides like? I guess maybe
confirmation.
Joking, laughter. I feel bad. Like you go into those things and you're like, man, people dedicated a lot of time for this, and then you just shake your head.
And then I'm sitting there for 2 hours, like, what idiots.
Well, the only thing that they would go, well, that's why we fucking say torrent it. But I was gonna say, at least they go, we got your money, and then you go, we Pirate Bay that shit.
Oh gosh, freaking the last Divergent movie. I wouldn't even say torrent it. I would just say like avoid it.
No, I'm telling you, that
avoid it like the plague.
The new Point
Gemini
Break.
Man. Oh man.
Gemini Man would definitely be a torrent. Gemini Man would be a VHS buy or a rental.
Torrent and then put it on a disc and then sell it because you are owed money if you watch it.
Do the freaking what do they call it? The street vendors on the side. My parents got some fucking DVDs when they were in South Carolina or something like that. They bought Lincoln and they bought some war movie.
Oh, nice.
Like, couldn't have been. Well, I guess Lincoln's like one of the
movies that white people would like.
Oh my god, even that is like. I watched Lincoln one time. I couldn't tell you what the fuck happened. I mean, obviously, I have an idea, but I read about the guy.
I watched it when I was in high school, I think, and I was like, yeah, that's him. Yep. Daniel Day-Lewis definitely is Lincoln. Woo.
Yeah, he does a great job
And-
looking like him.
Yeah, and obviously if I watch the movie now, I'll probably have like a different perspective.
No, you'd probably
No.
you would literally get to that same point. It'd be like it would be a smash cut of like
Seven-
you, and then
yeah.
7 years later,
17-year-old me versus 27-year-old
both
me.
at that same point, just nodding. Go, yep, there he is.
Yeah. Wow. Oh wow. Yep. It's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yep.
He is Lincoln. Oh, what? He didn't stop being Lincoln on set? Wow, crazy.
Yeah, this is wild. How long is this?
Yo, when does this dude get shot in the head?
Damn. Damn. Bro, isn't he about to die or something?
Bro. Yo, when does he go to that play?
Yeah.
John Wilkes, where you at?
Yeah.
What a...
Fucking, that's funny.
Man, I feel like I was good. Oh, yeah. Did I ever tell you about this movie that my parents and I watched when we went down to my cousin's wedding in North Carolina?
Nope.
We stayed in this nice little cabin in I think either Virginia or West Virginia, one of the two.
Please be Virginia.
Probably. I'll say Virginia.
Yeah, good.
And it was beautiful cabin, like very nice, very simple and quaint. Like it was on this hill, and there was like this like big field that we were in, and like just really off the beaten path. It was gorgeous, like the like hills of Virginia,
pastures and shit.
And they had a DVD player there with a copy of one movie, and
can I name it?
You can guess. You can try to guess.
I mean, well, honestly,
or like,
how many guesses would it take?
If I tell you, are you saying like, would you recognize it? Is that what
No,
you're asking?
I'm asking like, would I be able to guess this fucking film?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, who's in it?
Denzel Washington.
Whoa, in Virginia.
I mean, he's not in Virginia, but
No, well, unless the name of the film is Denzel in Virginia.
no.
Okay, well,
I'll
that
give
could
you
be taken the wrong way.
I'll give you a hint. He's in.
Yeah.
This is a different type of film podcast now. No, I'll give you a hint. It takes place in Florida. So I don't know.
Deja vu?
No.
Oh my God, Man on Fire.
No.
Really?
No. I thought Man on Fire was Mexico.
Could be. I don't remember too much of it besides that guy getting the grenade shoved up his ass.
Spoilers,
Well,
man.
yeah. Sorry about that, guys. All right, it's Denzel in Florida. Pelican Brief.
No. I'll tell you.
Training Day.
Out of Time. Have you ever heard of this movie?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. Have you seen this movie?
No, Denzel had the streak of, I think, Deja Vu, Out of Time, Man on Fire. I think was in there, and it kind of got a bad rep because of these three films. And then what's another one that he's like?
John Q. There's John Q.
John Q falls at the heartstrings a little bit.
Literally, because he needs a new heart. But
no, I thought there was one with Chris Pine.
that was a little after that. That was like
Stoppage
Unstoppable.
Yeah. Whatever.
Stoppage.
The fuck it called. Yeah, Denzel. Shout out to Denzel for listening.
Yeah, he'd be in a commercial for a pill that would stop stoppage. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Constipation.
That's called. Yeah. There's a word for that too.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
This movie is one of the most unique ones I've seen this past year. Because, like, we sat down, we watched it. Like, it was the only movie that we had, and there was no internet. So we were like, all right, just pop this DVD in and let's
go. Let's see what Denzel's got.
Let's give it a go. And the movie is so absurd, like, the whole time. It's like, at first it starts out, it's like this weird sort of like, kind of like romantic, like affair type story that like Denzel is like the police chief, and he's sleeping with this girl, and like her husband is like this autopsy dude, but like he beats her or whatever. So then like it's okay that Denzel is like cheating with this girl on her husband or whatever.
Is Denzel married?
No. No, he's like this kind of like player dude who like he's got like one earring in the whole time, so he's like a party dude, but he's also like a cop.
Yeah.
But he's like a Florida cop, so he's like, not afraid to get into the groove of things, I guess. I don't know.
Cocaine.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah, essentially in a different way. But this movie, like, it goes from that from like the first like 25 minutes. Because like, do you want me to just give you like what happens in it real quick?
If I had to guess, the chick dies, and it's like these weird cut up segments of him trying to figure it out and like piecing together different intervals.
Close. So essentially what happens is she finds out she has cancer, and then she's like, oh, I don't have enough money to like pay for this procedure that is like
chemo.
It's like experimental in like Sweden or whatever. That's like a guarantee. And he's like, wait one moment. So then he goes to the police station. He steals evidence money that he's like, well, no one's going to want this. Yeah. So he takes the evidence money, gives it to her, and he's like, meet me at my house at like this time. And then he waits, and she doesn't meet him at the house. And then he goes over there the next morning to find out that the house was burned down and that there's like 2 bodies in there, but the money's gone. And remember, the husband works in like an autopsy lab. So essentially what happened is Denzel got tricked. He got tricked into like, because like
she really loved the husband.
Well, like they were at like
no, her ass got killed.
Like
no. I think 2 fake bodies are in there now.
Yeah,
and then they took the money and ran.
Yes.
And then Denzel's gonna find him in Sweden.
That and like she named Denzel the beneficiary. So now the house is burnt to like her inheritance or whatever. So like,
why didn't she just take that out to pay for the?
Well, no, they did it because essentially like the house burned down. They think that they're dead. And so then when Denzel's name comes up as the beneficiary, the police are going to go like, oh? Like,
yeah, but I mean, if you're Denzel, why wouldn't you just be like, why didn't she could have taken that out? Why would?
No, like it's essentially like in case something happened to her, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, it's still like if you're going to pay for cancer, like he probably didn't know about it though. That's what it sounds like.
Well, like the whole movie. Okay, you have to watch it, I guess.
I'm not watching this film. Are you nuts?
No, you have to.
No,
you have to.
This is a fucking like.
Don't you threaten me with not watching it. I mean, I'll recommend it one day.
This is a bargain bin buy. I'm
But it's like the best part of the movie is like because Ava Longoria like plays his ex-wife. Yeah. So she plays the ex-wife, but she's also like the lead detective at like the police station. So they work together all the time.
Conflict of interest.
So then the real fun in the movie comes when he's at the police station like that next day, and he's like trying to prevent her and like the other detectives from finding out that like he was involved with this girl. So like essentially the whole movie is like him like running around like trying to delete like these emails and like these phone numbers and like trying to catch like these faxes that are coming in and like all this stuff. It's crazy,
dude. That's the movie. Oh my god, that's a Costner movie. Oh my god, they redid the Costner film.
A Kevin Costner movie.
Yeah.
Here, I'll look up Out of Time.
No. It's
just for information's sake.
I'm not gonna even. I don't want to go into it because it's actually a pretty good film.
Here's the cover of it, by the way.
Oh yeah, no. Listen. Man, when did that come out? 2004.
2003.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, that film targeted at me. All right, that film right there. I was 13 years old, and it's about Denzel who's caught up in an affair with some hot chick in Florida, running around where it's like all. You know, you got the Latin music going. It's warm out. The picture looks nice. I mean, you're on the beach. Like, how do you fuck that up with a 13-year-old? You know what I'm saying?
You described that movie perfectly, by the way, without even seeing it.
Listen, I've seen that movie more times than I can count, and it's not named Out of Time. That's that's 2003 through 2006 right there. Oh, probably 05.
That like I never even heard of this movie before we watched it at the cabin. It's a treat.
Oh my god! Like so, but I mean, you talk about films like to find, in a cabin. Like, well, I mean, just like to get like suckered with.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could be like hit with a '60s western. Mm. That's not a bad one to have because I mean, it's probably got a little bit of some thought behind. No Way Out is exactly what that film.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah,
No Way Out.
Well, you'd have to. Yeah.
There's such generic titles too. Like they sound like they could be sequels to each other.
Actually, they do.
No Way Out and Out of Time.
So me right now, when they say that, someone's talking about No Way Out right now, being like in a fucking 86 through 88. That I've seen No Way Out a million times, and it wasn't called No Way Out.
All right. There was a 2007 movie. I don't think that's it.
No,
2004?
It's 1987. Go into
1987. Okay.
Yeah, Costner. So I mean, this is
No Way Out. Well, you told me the 2003 to 2006, so that threw me off.
no. I'm saying that's for Out of Time. No Way
Gotcha.
Out's 87. That is.
Oh yeah, the cover looks very
dude.
similar, I will say.
You read up on it, and it's not a bad film. I'm telling you right now, No Way Out's not a bad flick. I actually have watched it a couple times. It's one of the ones I get caught up on like AMC with, or
No, yeah.
yeah. But anyways, I mean that's that's if you ever want to compare and contrast and see how they do remakes and just different ways. Second, I mean that Out of Time sounds exactly like that film.
It's it definitely looks like it. Yeah. No,
Yeah, it's just a
if I
different
ever check
story.
it out, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Out of Time. If your curiosity gets the best of you, like it did with us, check it out because it's not a good movie.
Oh, really?
Like absolutely not a good movie. But there are things about it that make it really funny. In like kind of unintentional
So what
ways.
would you new rating system? Like what do you pay for that one?
Oh no, I would torrent.
That's
this.
a torrent one.
Yeah,
that's
I
a
would-
torrent one.
that's a
Even if
torrent.
like you gave yourself that and said you will laugh really
Like,
hard, it's really bad, but it's
Maybe 99 cents. Maybe if I had friends over and they all chipped in and we had a
99
good laugh.
damn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's where I'm at. You got to be above torrent for me to watch it. And I'm not like I'm not highbrowing anyone. All right. I'm just saying like not even stream it. Actually, stream's a little bit below the dollar rental.
Yeah, that's true.
So
sometimes. So you have a movie that you get to pick for us to watch next episode.
yeah.
You get to make film pick, my good man.
Yep.
So
We're gonna do it. I have to hear about it. I love this film so much. I think it's a lot to take in the first time. We'll see. Actually, I don't know. I'm genuine to hear your thoughts, to hear what you have to say about it. I've heard so many different things. But I mean, it's like when I was younger, everyone's first time viewing it. I don't think it's been around the globe with the reviews I've heard.
all right.
All right. But I watched it today. I just had to throw it on while I was working, And, dude, I still fucking... Every time. It's always something new with this goddamn film. It's unbelievable.
All right.
All right? And it's not going to... I don't know if it's going to sound sexy or not, but we got to talk about it.
Sexy.
I can laugh. I got to laugh my ass off because I got to hear the rating on it, too. But you're going to watch The Big Lebowski.
I knew you were gonna say that,
Dude,
I knew you were gonna say Big Lebowski.
Yep. It's gonna happen. As soon as I threw it on today, I was like, we just gotta get it done. I gotta stop teasing it. I gotta stop freaking like waiting, because it's one of those films that you don't willingly like. All right, I'm gonna watch it. It almost kind of feels like homework.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's why I'm pushing you over the edge. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're just going, but I'm so interested in it because the first time I saw it, I was like, I mean, I laughed like at the stuff you're supposed to laugh at, obviously for comedic purposes, but it's such a fucking onion. And if you like the Coen brothers, which I think you have,
Yeah, I like
decent.
I like
opinion
No
on them.
Country for Old Men.
Yeah, totally different.
They're very different.
You've never seen Fargo, have you?
No. One day.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll see. Well, I'm genuinely curious because this might just be something too, where it's just me, because this kind of has a cult following, I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
People, it's one of those movies that seems like just everyone quotes. Like I've never seen the movie, but I know like a few quotes from it. Like, that's just like your opinion, man. Or just things like that. So,
Yeah.
or like, where's the money, Lebowski? Like,
Yeah.
there's just certain scenes that are iconic without even having like seen the film.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, and that's what I'm saying. It can kind of feel like homework when you're like, all right, it's done enough to where it's been snipped and cut, where this is like the only merits of the film. But that's why I'm interested. I want to hear your thoughts on it too, because
Okay.
have you ever seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Yes,
You have?
I have.
What is it?
That's Coen Brothers, right?
Yeah, but they kind of depicted Odysseus's journey.
Yeah,
And they-
like in a weird, like roundabout redneck way.
So I'm kind of interested to hear what you have to say about The Big Lebowski. I don't know if there's anything behind.
Okay,
So it'll be fun.
I really like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? It's one of those movies where like I kind of forget about it, but then when someone brings it up, I immediately like think about how much I like it.
I think The Big Lebowski will be the same way for you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, at least I hope. Yeah, that it's just going to be something you're like, didn't find funny at all.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Oof. Well, thank you for picking that film for us to watch.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be spoiled for The Big Lebowski, be sure to watch that before episode 9 comes out soon-ish. You can find us on YouTube. Look up the Neon Crew Podcast. We'll be right there.
Disgusted.
Find on Spotify.
Yeah.
We're on there too. And also website coming soon. I've been working with Lauren on that. And yeah, I would have liked to have gotten it out a little bit sooner, but for some reason, like the Hover and Squarespace stuff isn't like meshing right away. And like we've had to like go back and like try to fix it. So we'll see where that goes.
Patience is a virtue.
I really like the way it looks. I like the way that it turned out visually, and hopefully, like functionality wise, it'll be that way too. Once it
Do
gets
we each
put
have
up.
our own like page on there?
Yeah, we have our own little
Blurb?
Yeah, you sent me. I had you send me the picture of your, which
It's a fantastic picture.
I know. It's a great picture.
You talk about fucking wholesome.
It's like weirdly wholesome, and it's like the picture that you would send your grandmother if she texted you and were like, "How are you doing in college?"
Like
Mac?
did the hugging heart emoji to you, and you just wanted to be like, "I love you so much, Grandma."
Yeah, the only thing that would have made it even better is like the Snapchat dog filter. Like,
oh my God, that would have made it fake. That would have made it
true.
Fake.
That
was a genuine. Actually, that was a picture that.
Did you take that and then send it to me, or was that one you already had?
No, I had. So I was talking to P and
your son.
Yeah, and something popped up where he did something, and I was just like, oh. So I was like, I had to send that, and I don't have a lot of pictures.
So that picture was meant for your son, is what you're telling me.
Well, that's how I feel about the podcast. So like I could have gave you some shit. I mean, like, come on. I know I don't have a lot of pictures, but I could have picked out anything. I was like, what would best accurately describe? Like, there you go. I mean, there's probably 2 ranges of Mac. You either get that one or you get the one where my brother could fucking hi.
Oh yeah.
Like the snap off, like the coaching side. So
I showed you what my my contact picture for you in my phone is, right?
Is it Mikey? Not your Mikey, but Mikey from Recess.
No.
Oh.
No. That's a good one, but no.
Yeah.
This right here is my contact picture for you.
Oh yeah. Now that'll be on
Are you sunburnt?
Week 3.
Why are you so red?
Huh? If anyone's wondering, it's my sexy pose picture on Facebook.
I'll try to put the picture in like the video version.
Yeah. It was taken in the summertime. I just gotten out of the shower,
Oh, clearly.
So lightly fluffed, all right.
Uh-huh.
And I think I was doing it. I was talking to some gal or something like that. So that's probably like the 9th picture I had taken to get everything right. All right. So yeah,
I just love it so much.
dude. You talk about like identity crisis. All right, like I would say 2005 Mac up until about 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that range 7 years of not. It's just, and that was in there. I had white sunglasses. I was a dude that had white sunglasses at one point.
Oh, nice.
Probably would have had yellow shoes if given.
Oh,
maybe.
the like Fila's?
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that. I don't think I ever had the pants. Like I'm not that materialistic, but there are times where I'm like, oh, that's like the chin strap. I think I did that one time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like there's some qualities in there. So that was one of those decisions.
I'm glad you made it because it ended up on Facebook and now it's my contact picture for you.
You know what? I'm telling you right now. I think that in about 6 years, it's gonna raise that'll rise me through the ranks.
Yeah, either that or get you canceled. One of the two.
Oh,
there's
that won't
no in
get
between.
Me canceled. There's.
You don't know, man. You don't know.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. You don't where we're going at right now. That could be a little too much skin if you catch my drift.
He's shirtless. Oh, the lack of modesty in this boy. We can't take him seriously anymore.
That's a Handmaid's Tale waiting to come, except for guys.
Oh boy.
Which some people might not mind to see.
Margaret Atwood, are you listening? Take notes.
She's
the author of
author.
Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. It's funny that you said notes.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Because she writes. It's kind of
yeah.
I don't.
Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed.
Yeah, I was about to say, website, Facebook,
Spotify. Yeah, you'll get to see our cute little pics on there, our descriptions of ourselves.
I was about to say,
which I think I'm gonna have to fix mine up because
that is a cute little pic.
Yeah, it is. I think I'm gonna have to fix my description of myself because you sent yours in third person and I wrote mine in first person.
Yeah, I didn't know how to do that.
I can't have that inconsistency,
Why
so
not?
I gotta fix mine.
Is that the writer in you? Who cares? It's our own perspectives on how we felt about the page.
I know it's our own perspectives, but it drives me nuts every day I think about it.
So I have to rewrite mine?
No, you don't have to rewrite yours. I just have to rewrite
mine.
So
wait, do you think mine was good then?
I thought yours was good. Yours was surprisingly longer than mine. I mean, really? I like mine. I just have to fix it up so that it's in third person, which isn't that much of a task.
Does it read off like someone would read it? So it's kind of me.
It reads off like a somewhat like a LinkedIn bio with like a little bit of cheekiness in it, I guess you could say.
Damn straight.
At least mine does.
Your boy knows how to market himself. No, that's not true.
Yours reads like a about the author at like the end of a book.
I thought that's what we were kind of going with.
Which I appreciate, and I think I'll probably like try to match that too. Now that you've done it.
All right.
But yeah, you're an inspiration.
I love it. I love it. And then I'm going to get my our rating system on there. I'm either having it on my page or we have a page, whatever we can do with it.
Sounds good.
I think we just got to make it a thing. The Neon Crew rating scale, man. We can't be fucking generic.
Geriatric.
Park.
Yeah.
Naked Gun 33 and a third.
All right. That's
a sign off. All right. We're out. All right. I got. We got. All right. Hey, y'all. Remember WWTHD.
What would Tom Hardy do? Bye.